All right, we are back live, and we've got the second session between Yodogoki and GUCCINIKE beginning here. They started this session 584 hands out of 2,000, and Yodogoki is up 44k EV. And I think they're planning on playing around, I want to say 400 to 500 hands, maybe even a bit more. And they have one show table currently, which is the one on the left-hand side. So we'll be able to see, just as we see right now, Yodogoki here. Let's took it down and we get to see what he had. So I need a little bit before I can consistently talk. I have to eat real quick since I just got up. But yeah, we'll leave the tables up, and then I'm looking for guests at the same time to join us in a bit. Yo, Janice. Stream is frozen. I don't think it should be. Let me see. No, it looks fine for me. Looks fine for me. It's moving. I'll respond in chat. Maybe refresh if you can. Seems like the replayer today won't load. Which is unfortunate because that's what we used to go back over some hands usually. Maybe I need to restart the software, but I can't do it mid-match. Yeah, very unfortunate. Yes, Yodo is leading the NARC. He started the match today up 44 points, which is equal to $44,000 EV, and now he's only up 41, so Gucci closing the gap a little bit, 3,000 difference. How come you nicknamed Gucci the Equalizer, Paddy? Is that his nickname or is that the one you picked for him? And thank you. Who's coming on stream today? So I've messaged, let me see. I've messaged the owner, Venny, Kakiti. Who else should I message? I'll message Clicker, but I think he said he was out. And yeah, I'll message a couple more people later. Yeah, Janice, I had already messaged Hold on Homie as well. But he says, I picked it. It is because he crushes everyone that gets out of line, just like Denzel in the movie. That's amazing. What do you see when you look at me? Oh, well, that was the snappiest of calls here. Set of nines. Mamma mia. And Gucci. That's some serious EV going his way here. Oh no, I cannot replay it. Oh my god, this replay thing. That might be the day I tilt today. Okay, I'm gonna find a way. How do I do this? Jesus Christ. Okay, wait, give me a second. I think I need to show the. Oh, I need to show the hand history without the replayer thing. If I show this, the problem is that this takes a lot more room. I guess I can make it skinnier somewhat. So it doesn't take all the whole space. Okay, let's see. How does this look? Yeah, you can see the hands. But yeah, this was only on turn. It doesn't show the equity. But yeah, Gucci obviously was ahead. Let's see, 41 points. Now 37, so we recovered 4 more points here with that hands. What's up, Smeebs? Paddy says, I commentate high-stakes PLO in the Bodies of Mine channel, so I have a few nicknames for the top guys. Oh, okay. If you have recommendations for some people to have on the stream, let me know. You're also welcome yourself if you want to join. Kara Sabir says, I played 2K PLO flips with GUCCINIKE in 2025 and lost. He felt bad and sent me 4K back. What a baller. How can I not root for this guy? That's pretty awesome, actually. What do you usually play, Kara Sabir? Because I think I usually nowadays see you here mostly when there's PLO running, so I assume you play PLO? Paddy says, can't now, but I would love to someday. Your stream are awesome, man. And by the way, quad the grinds. Appreciate that, mate. Yeah, you're welcome anytime. Just let me know. And then I'll add you. Oh, you can already add me on Discord. My nickname is Todd Yohanem. It is quad the grind, yeah. Yesterday was honestly a little strange, like the timing. Like I think Jungle and first of all, I think the finals wasn't. It didn't seem like it was gonna happen any time. And then Jungle and Paints, they canceled their session, so I went to bed, slept a couple hours, like 3 hours, got up for a bit, and suddenly I got a call from Crassifisk and Sea Llama, and then I figured they were playing. So I went live with that, and then we transitioned into Paint versus Jungle. And I think we ended at around 6 a.m. Central European time. I went to bed shortly after, and like this time, like no alarm, nothing. I was just too dead. And then I got up at like 2:30 p.m. and Yodogoki and Gucci, they were ready to play since 1:30 p.m. and they very nicely waited so we don't miss any hands. Rasavia says, yes, PLO 4 and 5 card mainly. 2K games. Okay, nice. Maybe we'll see you in the next one of these. Paddy says, I'm going to call you Johan 24/7 Merlot or Johan anytime, anywhere Merlot. Yeah, that's close to it, yeah. I would say right now the most tilting thing is my fractured finger, which like now when I was typing, I was legitimately like, yeah, it's pretty irritating, but yeah, whatever. What can you do? At least it happened towards the end of the challenge. I love PLO, but also hate it. It's a great game. I think most people feel like that about poker in general. Two-thirds fired on the river for Yodogoki. Still up. Oh, he went back up 43 points. And he's going to pick up some more EV here with his pot going his way as well. And let me see if I can. Can we see this? Yeah, we can see the final run out. Yeah, the thing is, like, if I want to show the details of the hand, it would have to be... it's like very big, like, vertical thing, right? Because the hand history is right under. I can read it out for you. Actually, no, I can scroll down, I guess. Oh, we don't see the whole thing, though. So it's a single raise spot. Yodogoki on the flop bets 75%. And as we can see, he had 2 pairs, 8 deuce. Turns the boat. He bets half in position. GUCCINIKE calls, and then on the river, he bets 75% again. GUCCINIKE running once and winning this one. Let's see. So, single raise spot, actually, where all the money went in. He bet 75% on the flop and got check raised. Yodogoki, so he flopped a 9. GUCCINIKE with a set of 3s. Check raises. Yodogoki calls. Unfortunately for him, he turns top 2. And on the turn, GUCCINIKE traps as well. He checks, Yodogoki bets, and GUCCINIKE jams. Well trapped, sir. That's some serious EV here, actually. So he goes from down 43 points to down 35. I'm guessing the owner is not up yet, so like just not online. Because usually, if he's online, he's always joining, unless he finally got sick of us. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe he'll get up and join us. Ooh, another all-in. GUCCINIKE 77%. He's got a straight against a set. He's gonna win. He only ran once, right? Yeah, so not that it's relevant towards the EV. So GUCCINIKE minus 28. The great comeback is on the way, perhaps. Started the match minus 44, remember. Hey, what's up, Francis in the chat? We got Donny. How you doing, dude? And Gory Days 28. Let's go Gucci comeback. Arasabia says, let's go. I'm GUCCINIKE's biggest fan. So the hand was a 3-bet pot. Gucci with queens. Also a suited ace with that and a 3. Yodogoki kings, jack 9. And actually the hearts were covered here for GUCCINIKE. And on this flop, they flop that's kind of crazy actually. Yodogoki flops a straight flush draw, but the queen is actually in GUCCINIKE's hand, who has a royal flush draw, but he can't make that because the king is in Yodogoki's hand. So he bets small in position, call, turn king. So now Yodogoki having top sets. He checks. He check raises against half pot size bets, and GUCCINIKE just jams. Action boards, and especially the turn. Link says, I'm fine, thank you. How about you? How are you doing? I'm good. I think it's the first somewhat lengthy night of sleep I've had in a while. With over 8 hours. Can't complain. And very lucky that Yodogoki and GUCCINIKE waited, by the way. Because I think they wanted to start around 1:30 p.m. Still no word from one of the guests that I messaged. I'll follow up with Vinny because I think I see he's online. These guys are playing pretty fast, by the way. I mean, I do feel like they're not tanking much or anything. They started the session at 584 hands, so they played 31 minutes right now, and they played almost 100 hands. There he is. What's up?
Yo.
How's it going?
We got some action?
Sorry?
We got some action? Who's playing?
It's the PLO.
No.
PLO guys.
Oh, PLO. Yes, my favorite.
How's it going with you, mate?
Going good, going good. Oh, my food just arrived. I'm gonna nip down to grab that.
Okay.
Okay.
Everybody's ordering food. I think what happened? Oh yeah, yesterday C Llama had food coming, and then he paused the session to eat, and then I think it was Jungle. He got ready exactly at the time when the food of Paint was gonna arrive, which was late. So then he also ended up having to wait. Everybody's got to eat. I wonder if they purposely play one show table, one no show. I will let them know actually that if they want, they can play two show. All right, I just let them know that if they wanted, they could do two show tables. Pot size bet by GUCCINIKE here. Assuming this is a 3-bet pots. Yodogoki in the tank. He makes the call, and he's going to run into a straight here. GUCCINIKE finding some more points. So he was back down 30. 24 now. So a whole 20 points here already won by him this session. Prodigy in the house, a cash game world championship champion. Yeah. Champion, and then top 3 in the next one. One of the top performers here in the Cash Game World Championship. Let's see if Jared Alderman released the video already. Not quite yet, I think. Yeah. I'm gonna message him, try to get an ETA. $694 hands. Yodogoki up 27 points. The grind goes on. Gory Day says, funny, one of my top related vids on the side of this is Charlie naming 5 poker scammers. Yeah, well, wait until you see the response video.
Hello, I hear myself being talked about.
Yeah, the chat began talking about it. Paddy said,
yeah, I mean, I watched it. I honestly think it's just like, it's kind of just an IQ test. If you watch the video and you think a guy with no receipts who's just like chatting shit because he's gone broke and needs someone to blame, and like has absolutely nothing, and then is also just calling out this random, like making up this like random bullshit personal crap. He's just like, you know, like just coincidentally, he's like, oh yeah, by the way, these things which he apparently said ages ago were never a problem for me, but now that I'm like lying and says he owes me money, I'm also going to make up these lies about him personally. Like, if people are falling for that, like, it's just, you know, like, come on, get it together. I mean, I'm gonna go, like, obviously I got a response video with all the receipts and everything, but Jesus Christ, I watched this video. It's like, it's so paper thin. Like, I don't know. I'm pretty comfortable that no one's actually going to bite on any of his bullshit. But I don't know, maybe some people do. Maybe it's not as obvious as it looks to me, but I feel like it is.
Yeah, Paddy said, I'm rooting so bad for Prodigy to roast Charlie Carroll. I hate that guy so much. What did he do to you, Paddy?
Sorry, what did you say? 1 sec. I was grabbing something.
Yeah, no, Paddy said he's rooting for you, basically. And he said he hates the guy you're arguing with.
Yeah. I mean, I looked on the comments, and it was kind of funny. Like, I got so many comments supporting me, and I was like, come on, Charlie. You know, any self-respecting scammer should be deleting these, right? It's like any grifter should realize that letting people show support for me on his video is not a good look.
I got a message, by the way, from Crassifist. They're gonna play tonight at around 1:30 a.m. CT, so 7:30 p.m. EST is when they'll continue.
7:30 EST.
Yeah, 7:30 p.m. EST. That's 1:30 a.m. CT. So for you, midnight 30.
He's actually being held hostage, dude. He's mad. Oh god.
Emil the Raccoon says, "Are you going to sue Charlie?" It's interesting because I mentioned before, like you know, this type of stuff can end up in courts, but like yesterday you mentioned probably not. And then when I watched the video, he immediately said like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna sue anyone or whatever." But it does seem like from usually when you have public stuff like this, if any one of the parts decides to go to court, it could very easily. Like the people that he mentioned, I'm sure they're not happy about it.
He's already broken. Has got his own set of legal fees to deal with about something else. Like he's in which, I mean, I'm not going to get into, but yeah, he's already got his own shit to deal with. You know, which is part of the, I mean, yeah. Okay. I'm trying to maintain my own standards and not get too personal with it, but he makes it so fucking easy because you feel so justified. But it's like, no. It's about maintaining your own, like, it's about maintaining your own self-respect, right? Yeah, he's exhausting though. Oh, hey, Jared. Hello. Oh, okay.
Wait, I cannot hear anybody.
Hey, yo.
Give me. Here we go. Can you guys hear me?
Hello. Yeah.
Oh, what's up, Owen?
All good. Chilling, talking about everyone's favorite topic.
We only have one
Yeah,
question, Jared. When the hell is that video coming out?
Yeah, it's coming out tomorrow. We obviously this is more work than I think I've ever put into a video, but yeah, it's coming out tomorrow.
Nice. Gonna be a banger.
Yeah, it'll be good. Yeah, I was just hearing. Yeah, I feel for Owen in this spot just because I was listening to him saying he's trying to like not make it too personal. And
So tempting. It's like when someone's just like just getting on their high horse and just telling fucking lies about you. It's like it's so tempting to sink to that level. But yeah, you've been kind of really mean a little when I've been tempted as well, which I appreciate because it's like I don't want to be that guy who's just like he's just getting sucked into this shit. I want to just keep it to
yeah,
like,
I think it's
but yeah,
I think it's unfortunate that like you can't that most people won't be able to, I don't know, look beneath what's happening and see how easy it would be. But I think it's just so easy once two people are just it's so easy for people to if you just stay about the facts, it's more likely that people will differentiate between the two people in the story. Because if you watch Charlie's video, in my opinion, he didn't say any facts, really.
he conveniently left out the number because he knew that if he accused me of stealing 24K, people would realize how ridiculous it is. He just left it vague so they'd assume it was hundreds of thousands.
Well, yeah, the only number he said was 300K.
Yeah, it's quite like funny how he's done that because he knows the more he actually talks about the details of it, the more it all crumbles.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, and that's why like it's so. I don't know. I want my goal and like I wanted the two cases or the two ways of handling this to be as distinct as possible, if that makes sense. Like I think it'd be great if like from one side it's just like, look, these are the facts, this is the story, this is what happened, and like anything that's not super relevant isn't going to get talked about. And then from the other side, again, from what I saw from Charlie's video, I saw nothing but irrelevant things get talked about. And it's worth saying too, I've extended the offer to Charlie because he has been very upset that I'm, in his words, giving a platform to, again, in his words, a psychopath.
What the hell?
But I've extended the offer to him many times to say like, I've told him, hey, you're more than welcome to talk to me, not even recorded, just talk to me and tell me your side. And I will include, and I can, I can navigate that once I hear your side of it. I've also extended to him that it's like you can also make a video that's just like the one I recorded with Owen, where you tell the story from your side. Like I'm not trying to take a side in this. And yeah, he's denied both. He's declined both. And has explicitly stated that he only wishes to make a video where he, like, I can't even find his message, where he basically just flames Owen. Like that he doesn't, that he actually said like he does not want to get into the facts. But anyway. So like, I don't know if you ask me, like, because again, Charlie has said, and I think this is kind of like the theme that he's kind of going on, that I think people will assume makes more sense than it does, but it's like, who doesn't, like, why wouldn't you go to arbitration is kind of the line he's taking. Like, anyone who didn't steal money would happily go to arbitration, which I think is misleading. But in my opinion, anyone who's like fine with their behavior in a situation would be happy to talk about the facts. Like that's my more clear stance, that it's like, if you were actually totally felt that you behaved completely upright and that like you were very wronged, that you would feel like the facts would support you in that, and that you wouldn't have to just like completely destroy someone's character to make that point known.
I think also it's kind of interesting to me how basically what he's saying is that I should have paid him, and then he would pay the staff himself, even though he'd owed them money for months. But he's just like, oh, I will pay them when I decide to pay them. So he's basically saying that, like, he's saying that I made like a process error, that the money should have gone through him, and then he's like upgrading the charge to stealing, because I knew that if the money went through him, it wouldn't go to his staff. So it's like obviously, obviously I'm not gonna pay him first. Like, if the other people have been waiting for months, Christmas is coming. Like, fuck this guy. It's his fault.
Yeah, I mean, that to me too is like a more personal decision, obviously. Like, between how a lot of people might be able to dispute how they would like to have handled that, like either paid the staff on his behalf or leave it up to Charlie to pay the staff. But I think to me the biggest thing is that Charlie agreed to this process, and then only retroactively tried to say that, his main in the actual process of happening, which again we have screenshots for, his main debate was what the staff was owed, not that it was okay that Owen paid them what they were owed in advance. And then he tried to like retroactively seemingly say that they weren't owed anything. And so like I think it's even smart to like differentiate between, even though I think Owen would have been more than happy that if he didn't agree to it, that Owen maybe would have been happy to still pay the staff. But that's, whether or not that's true, that's not really what happened. Owen, Charlie agreed to the staff being paid, which is a really important point. It's not like, because Owen didn't just decide, okay, I'm just gonna like, which again, maybe you'd be happy with, maybe there's a lot of people who would be happy with it. Just like, I don't know what I would do in that situation if I knew someone wasn't going to pay people who I knew and cared about, and I had some of his money. Like, I don't know what I would do in that situation. But the best way to handle it, in my opinion, is to just upfront ask the person who owes them money. And then if they agree to it, then it's like they agreed to it. I don't know.
Which we have screenshots of him agreeing, by the way, because our video has receipts, instead of his one.
Well,
Yeah.
Jared, having talked to both parts, do you feel like this is not a resolvable situation?
I think it is a resolvable situation if you were to have. I don't think Charlie wants this to be a resolvable situation, in my honest opinion.
Why wouldn't he?
This would get complicated to explain. I guess just my read on his psychology as a person. I'm skeptical of what I'm going to say here.
Yeah,
but
you don't have to. If you don't want to
opinion-
answer, don't answer. It's fine.
In my opinion, it's important to him that he doesn't acknowledge any of his own wrongdoing, and that in this situation he's the victim. It's important to his own self-identity, not just his public identity. And so, he has this dissonance where if he deals with the facts, he has to acknowledge that he's behaved like an asshole. So then he's like forced into this like loop of self-supporting delusions, lie and then lie more to justify the previous lies. And then even then, for what it's worth, I was just happy to just let him like just occasionally cry in my DMs. But it just it got to a point where he then decided to take that public, and then the richness of this all, he starts, like, I think 4 times he mentions my name publicly, and then he shows up in my DM saying, "Oh, we can resolve this privately. You don't have to make a response video." What do you mean I don't have to make a response video? I obviously do. At this point, if we resolve it privately, I would still have to say something publicly to establish the fact that I haven't stolen from you.
Yeah.
I feel like it's impossible to resolve this, because what resolving this would look like to me would be getting a public apology from him. And he's not capable of apologizing. So I don't think, I don't think that, it's all nice to imagine these worlds where there's a resolution, but I don't actually think it exists. Because, like, what I want and the person he is not capable of doing that. So
It's
yeah,
even
here we
interesting
are.
to me that, like, even what Owen's saying is, like, what he wants is a public apology, not even the money he feels he's owed. Like, but
Dude, I wrote
it's
that money off so long ago. I was like,
yeah.
I'm at, like, for the people, I'm out like 12K on this. I could have like cashed it all, but I'm out 12K, which I agreed to write off to him at the end of the debt. I was owed so much, and I, like, wrote off the last 12K, and then he comes out publicly accusing me of scamming him. Jesus fucking Christ! It's
Yeah, I mean, it has
insane.
been
It's
it's been
insane.
pretty wild, even in my private messages with him, to watch him try to say exactly what Owen just said, which is like, this should have been handled privately,
Yeah. What do you
and to be
mean?
like, I agree. Like, I don't know, like, yeah, it probably should have, but like,
I thought it was handled privately, because the thing, yeah, we like, I agreed to write off the last 12K with it. Sent him some money to cover his legal fees as part of it. I did not hardball him at all when I was just, like, trying to get everyone paid. It was so reasonable. Yuri comes in to help as well, cuts him a loan. Insane idea, whatever. But, like, come on. Like, dealt with him so reasonably. You deal with these people with such kid gloves. You're so gentle with them, and they're so fragile. One thing doesn't go slightly the way they designed it, and they're so violent. Like, this, it's like they're just so destructive. Um,
Yeah, he's been
yeah,
very
very
unwilling to see
difficult to
my
deal
even in
with.
my messages with him, he's been very unwilling to see, like, to not understand. He doesn't seem to understand that that it is not an established fact that he was wronged. And so, like, all of his messages to me seem to just
Yeah.
presume that I know he was wronged, and yet I'm choosing to do all of this anyway. And so, yeah, I don't know. It was pretty yeah, it's pretty bizarre. Like, I don't know. It's pretty wild. Just having the conversations I've had with him, especially since I recorded a podcast with him and had nothing but a pleasant interaction with him.
Yeah, I see, like, on your YouTube, you have videos with him from, like, it says 2 weeks ago. I assume it was recorded prior to that, but yeah, very recently. You
Yeah, I
obviously,
probably recorded a month before that, so it was probably like 6 weeks ago
yeah,
we recorded it. Um, but this wasn't. I mentioned this. This isn't going to be in the video. We cut it out, but I'm fine to say it but I just didn't think it deserved this place in this video. But this is not my first interaction with Charlie. Charlie accused me publicly of being a scammer, along with Pete Clark and Carrot Corner, and I had to appear on his stream to just, like, defend myself out of, like, some random claim to his hordes of followers. And just to Owen's point where he says he doesn't believe Charlie's capable of making an apology. I've never like, to me, this was like I went there, kind of defended myself, sent screenshots for my results and my games that I played in, from my tracker and whatever. And then Pete Clark went on there and was basically like, at the end, was like, "Hey man, like, do you have anything to say about the fact that you just, like, I just woke up today, thought I was gonna have a nice day, and I woke up to, like, thousands of people accusing me of being a scammer, and, like, it really ruined my day. Like, how do you feel about that?" And, like, I've never seen a situation where it was, like, a more appropriate moment to like make an apology to somebody, to be like, oh man, like I didn't really think about how that would affect you. I'm sorry, or something, anything like that. And just Pete got none of that. What actually Charlie said, and I'm gonna do my best to quote, but it was a while ago, was, I know that no matter what I do, I'm gonna be doing it. Like I'm gonna be morally correct. Like almost verbatim, honestly. Like that is very close to his quote. And which is just like a crazy belief to have. Especially when someone is just telling you right now that they were hurt by your actions.
It sounds like some sort of resolution was found then, because like even after that happened and you went on his stream, he came to, like he joined for your content, right? He ends up in some videos on your YouTube. So
he does not remember that happening. Like when he joined when he came on to do my podcast, he thought we were meeting for the first time.
Oh, but you first of all, that's crazy. But you decided to like just like leave the past in the past and just invite him, and
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't like whatever. Like I'm not one to hold a grudge. So like I don't know why he did what he did. And also it's just, to be fair, like I can separate, I guess you could say, art from artist, if you will. I believe Charlie has insights into learning, and like I believe he's a sharp guy. Like to me, my interest is to provide valuable information to my audience. I believe that what came out of that conversation was valuable information. And I would stand by that. I can think all of these things about this and think that in that interview, Charlie said things that are worth learning from. But I would also probably say I wouldn't get in business with him after hearing all of this.
what are the chances we get both on a call and find a resolution for this?
I don't want to talk to him.
Yeah, I've attempted this already. For understandable reasons. I think Owen does not want to be in the same call with Charlie.
Yeah. I feel like if this was like, I don't know if you remember a couple of years ago when the poker community like moved to Twitter and they were doing all those spaces every day. And it was essentially people that like disagreed on something. They would just get on a call and curse each other out. In a way that kind of reminds me of this. Like all this, actually Charlie was part of one with Doc Polk back then.
Yeah. You need a really strong moderator and one who's really, and like I honestly think I could be up to it, but like especially with someone like Charlie, you need a strong moderator, someone who's willing to like silence people when they've spoken enough, and you would need somebody who is also like very quick at catching nuance, who can like really quickly cut in and be like, hey, this is like misleading, or this is like not responding to what so and so said, or like, yeah. So understandably, I think those spaces were largely unproductive. And I think that situation, funny enough, with Doug and Charlie also was not handled with clear nuance. I think even when that was happening, I think Doug was unfairly cast as the villain in a situation where I didn't view him as such. But
Yeah, I don't think there was any moderation to it, right? It was just people creating a space, letting them get on, and then the guys that hosted the call probably grabbed the popcorn and listened to them, argue quite much. I remember I listened a bit to it at the time, and I don't think anybody was like chiming in at all.
Yeah, which I think I wish it wouldn't have been done that way, but because then you also have people with their own personal issues with somebody, like making it, I don't know. It was rough. I just remember watching Doug get piled on and thinking like, man, this is totally unfair. I actually spoke with him about it at the time.
Yeah.
And I think Doug handled that so well. Like I was so impressed with how he handled that situation, honestly. Like to have just like a bunch of people piling. Anyway, we're getting away from it, but yeah, I thought that was pretty impressive.
Great Tar in the chat says, Owen, how much money would it take for you to spend a solid year with Charlie on a very, very small island? Jesus Christ, guys.
Jesus. I mean, I would not do that for any amount of money, because like by the end of the year when they come to pick us up, I'm either going to have killed myself or him. So like my life's just over at that point. So I can't accept the offer. There's no way we'd make it for a year.
Oh, and by the way, do you play PLO? I'm not aware.
I dabble. we get a bit creative.
I have to go here shortly, but I'm curious, Owen, are you still do you know about your Vegas plans?
Oh yeah, I got my jury duty moved. I can go to Vegas.
Oh,
I'm
sick.
free.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's nice.
Well, there'll be poker content coming with Owen, guys, after this whole thing blows over.
Yeah.
So
Owen
tomorrow,
and K-Rabbit.
tomorrow is the
No,
video.
this video is going to release tomorrow, and then Owen, when Owen's in Vegas, me, him, and K-Rab are going to sit down and record something actually about poker. So stay tuned.
We could get we could do a podcast while playing live drunk PLO.
I'm so
Oh, you want
down.
to.
I'm so down. I'm so
Yeah,
down.
that'll be so much fun. we can get a room, get like one of the. I wonder how much it is to get like a private table at one of the casinos.
I can almost certainly get a table into the space where I plan on having this podcast, and we can just record
Okay,
it.
that'd be sick. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna make that happen.
I'll see if I can think of anyone else who'd be fun to add to the mix if we're doing like a banner game. I mean, like the one time I played drunk PLO with Barack, he made it so fucking fun. So maybe he's worth getting involved as well. I know he'll be in Vegas.
Maybe we'll try to do a short interview before, and then
yeah. Short interview and pre-drinks.
Exactly, and pre-drinks, and then once we're all feeling tipsy enough, it's like, okay, we're probably time to go to PLO.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Awesome. All
That'll be fun.
Well, all right. I'll see you guys. I'll see you later. I'm sure we'll be in touch.
Yeah.
All right, later, Jared. Bye. Thanks for dropping by.
Bye.
All right, maybe let's talk about some PLO hands.
Yeah.
Somebody goes on full tilt.
Let's get back on this.
The replay is unfortunately not working, so I have to I can only show like a screenshot of the hand and kind of like recollect what happens.
Do you remember all the action and sizes, Johan? Because that's very important to me. I'm very technical when it comes to
I can scroll down a bit.
Okay.
Fortunately. Yeah.
Oh, wait. The last hand on the left is pretty interesting.
Let's see.
It was a small pot, but I think he bet a kind of cool hand. No, hand before.
That's also, I think you mean this one.
It was on the left table.
Yeah, I think.
No. He had like ace of spades, 8-5. Wait, refresh the replay. It might have missed it because it was like such a recent hand.
No, yeah, that's it. It's like all the.
No, that's the one. Oh, he just like bet the turn. Okay, it wasn't that interesting. I thought he double barreled with that. Back to business, indeed. Yeah. God. Although I would say one last thing. Someone else who was involved in this and had to deal with Charlie is toying with the idea of doing the high drama version. I'm keeping it professional, but I don't want to stand in the way of other people who want to spill his dirty laundry. So you guys might be in for a treat. Maybe. Just teasing.
By the way, do you know what you said? You talk about jury duty. When you do that, is it what type of cases? It can be anything.
They invited a psychopath to do jury duty. What the hell? I'm gonna vote for the death penalty, even if he nicked a packet of crisps. We don't even have the death penalty here, but like I'll make it happen.
Like when I watch movies, whenever I see jury duty, it's like for something very serious, like a murder or something. So I don't actually know like how does it work in real life? Like it can be like any trivial case, or how does it work?
Yeah, I mean, so there's a certain threshold for a case to be in front of a jury. And although I'm not sure, it might be you can anything criminals in front of a jury here. Actually, I think it might just be Europe where it's like it needs to be something with a sentence over 2 years for a jury to get involved. I'm not sure. You can get really boring cases.
Yeah.
I think my ADHD and jury duty might not be a great mix. Just because I'll like I mean, back when I was in school, I'd just always be daydreaming in class, and it's like nothing personal to the judge. It's just my nature. I'm sorry, don't hold me in contempt. but yeah.
I mean, you could take the lead, and then you'd be very focused on the case, right? Like,
Yeah,
if it's like in the movies,
if the case is interesting, I'd be really good.
yeah.
If not, I'll probably just be like, yeah.
But if it's
I
not
don't know,
interesting,
like-
most likely it won't be closed. Then it's just open and shut. You just take a vote, and then that's it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, the thing is, things which aren't close don't usually go to trial.
Okay, yeah.
But like most of the cases are over in like a couple days. They said to from the start of it you should clear your schedule for the next 10 days. But typically it's not that long, but it's rare that cases go over 10 days.
Okay.
I feel like they would tell you if you were in a case which is going to be longer than that. Yeah, it'll be fun. Well, maybe not, but it'll be interesting at least.
I think there's a sick show on Prime, by the way. I think you need to see this if you haven't. I forgot the name. Did you know about it?
No. What is it? Oh, actually, have I got one for you? Do you know the film Anatomy of a Fall? It's a French film.
Yeah.
It's got nominated for Best Picture. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
It's so. I like I mean, this is spoilers for anyone in here, so just mute this part and go watch the fucking movie. It's so good. Like, it's not like a lot of other stuff I've watched. It's like very quiet, like personal drama, but it's like, yeah, I don't know, it's so good. But you know the bit at the end when they're telling the kid, like, you know, Decide, and it's like it's like you know, the kid, you can't go on with these two beliefs. Like it's just going to tear you apart if you're continuing to believe like both these things are true. You have to make a decision about which you believe is true. And it's actually it's quite interesting because that's something which I really struggle with. Is like I don't want to go too far down one path and then like later be wrong.
Yeah.
But then it leads to like, you know, either like states of indecision or like constantly looking back, wondering if you've made the right decisions. But it's like, but no, that's, you know, you're not going to have the perfect information. You should like call or fold. You know, you have to make a choice and like make your peace with it. And it was really interesting because it's like I understood that in terms of poker that you have to, you know, and you can understand it in some things in life, but also realizing that it's not just for like, you know, business or academic decisions or whatever. It's like, yeah, like sometimes you will have these competing beliefs, and the only way to actually resolve them is you have to decide what you believe. You can't wait for more evidence because you're not going to get it. You have to find out which one resonates with you.
Yeah.
Amazing movie. It's so good.
And so the show I was talking about is called Jury Duty. It's from 2023.
Sorry, I hijacked. Yeah, sorry, Jury Duty.
And so basically it says the show follows a fake American jury trial where everyone except one juror is an actor. So it's if you see that, you're gonna go to your jury duty thinking you're the only real guy there, and everybody else is actors.
Oh,
like,
that would be kind of funny.
Yeah, they do a bunch of crazy
like
stuff.
The Truman Show, but like. Yeah.
And like one of the guys on the jury, he's James Marsden. I don't know if you know the actor. So there's like some really funny.
He's always the guy who he's always like the love interest that gets rejected in everything. Like, I don't know if you've seen that in like every TV show. He always plays like the alternate love interest that gets rejected. I don't know, but yeah, is he that in this?
No. He plays like a kind of like a cameo of himself because the guy knows who he is, obviously. So then he talks to him. He's like, "Oh, you played in Sonic, right? Yeah, not that good a movie." And then later he shows up. He's like, "Oh, actually, I rewatched it last night. It wasn't that bad."
That's so insane, knowing him from Sonic. But yeah, like he's like the other guy in like The Notebook. He's the other guy in Enchanted. Like, I don't know, assume a few others. I just remember finding this out because I watched Westworld, and in Westworld he actually gets the girl, and then like and then her hard wiring gets rewritten, and he doesn't get her anymore.
Oh, spoilers! Jesus Christ!
No, it's a spoiler for the later seasons, and the later seasons of Westworld suck. So the first season of Westworld is one of the best seasons on TV, though.
Yeah,
Anthony Hopkins in it.
I didn't mind so much the later seasons, especially the one with the French actor. Vincent Cassel.
I think I watched the first 3.
I think it's maybe 4.
Oh, I did. I heard it picked up again, but I'd lost enthusiasm. You know.
Yeah, so the later seasons always get a lot of hate, but I actually really liked that one. Yeah, I think it's season 3 actually.
Kind of got back to it. Yeah, I mean, it was like, because the thing was for me, season 1 was so good, and then season 2 was like, it felt like they were so mad. I don't know if you saw this, but like everyone guessed, not everyone, but some people on Reddit guessed the end of season 1 down to like a T. But the thing is, there were so many competing fan theories, but someone fucking nailed it.
Yeah.
It was really interesting to watch along. I usually hate looking at online discussion for shows as I'm watching them, but Westworld was really interesting watching people try to justify like who everyone is, like all these different theories. But yeah, oh, big pot. Show. Blef. Huge. But yeah, but then they got to season 2 and they were like, oh, we need to trick everyone. We can't have them guess. But it's like, no, that was what was so cool, was that it had enough, like, you know, that it was a mystery which you actually could solve. And then season 2, they were like, we need to make it more complicated. And I was like, I couldn't even remember what happened. Like, I can describe the plot of season 1 very well. And
what's
then
the recap?
2, I'm like, Yeah, but it's more just, it was so convoluted that despite watching the whole thing through, it like doesn't really stick in my mind. But like shows like Dark are like very complex, but like I know the plot of Dark, even though it.
Don't spoil that one. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh my god, dude! It's the best mystery show of all time. It's so like the pacing is so fucking perfect. The only thing is like, and I don't know if you're like this, like lock your phone in a safe while you're watching, because you have to pay attention. It's like a full brain show.
Yeah.
If you stop paying attention, you'll just lose the thread. But like while you have the thread, everything makes sense. But you lose a little bit, and then like you're fucked.
Yeah.
And I think that's why a load of people don't really like it, because they kind of watch a little bit of it when, you know, like they shouldn't. They should be watching something lower effort, which is like, you know, it is kind of like there are times when you're going to be more engaged in it than others. Oh, dude, 100%. Like, if you love Dark, like, I'd say Dark. The mystery is more compelling. Westworld, the characters are more compelling, but they're cut from the same cloth. The character performances in Westworld are just so good. I mean, Anthony Hopkins is a highlight, but not just him.
Here we go. Ooh,
you know, this always confuses me in PLO when they're like, don't pot the turns. I'm always just like, why wouldn't you pot? I guess they want to go like thinner for value than yeah, just go thinner for value. But in No Limit, you want to go bigger to make the draws hate life. Oh, that's rough for him. Oh,
GUCCINIKE
comeback is very much on.
GUCCINIKE
gets another 8 points, I guess.
Dude, he's cooking.
So he's only going to be 11 behind. Woo.
Some brutal beats for Yodogoki actually today, because that was again like a set against top 2, which earlier he had a top set of kings against the straights. So 12 points difference now.
Do you know what I was thinking? In order to like balance out variance even more than just doing EV, you have like these teams of 2 where each one in your team, you can't communicate. Each person in your team gets like one side of the whole cards. Does that make sense? So it's like the cards which are dealt to like seat A on table 1 will be dealt to seat B on table 2, and one team of 2 plays both sides. So you go in like a pair. And so then it's like okay, who won the more whilst getting dealt the exact same cards?
Oh, I see. Okay.
I think that'd be so interesting.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to talk to Clicker and his crew about doing something like that, because I think, we've got the Gorilla crew, we've got like Clicker and his boys. That'd be like such a fun show match.
Yeah.
Just seeing like, comparing hands where something wild goes down, and then like seeing the alternative of like, look at this like little quiet hand we played which didn't blow up. The guy didn't decide to run the bluff, or like didn't end up in this insane bluff catching spot. Yeah, I think that'd be pretty cool. Or like sometimes the hand will play exactly the same, and then one person calls, one person folds, and it's like, oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I think that'd be so cool.
Adam is back in the chat, by the way. He said, "Who wants to sit on my lap?" Adam, we talked about this yesterday. Don't make me call HR, because this guy kept calling you out even after you left yesterday. And we got Mahasajan joining us. What's up, dude?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
It's going pretty good.
Yo.
We're 1 hour and 15 minutes into the stream, and we haven't broken down properly a single hand yet. So we're counting on you, my guy.
Nice. There's a big
Dude, you
pot
just
going
gotta
down
cover
now,
the drama to get people in the door, and then you get them with the poker nerd shit.
Yeah, I heard there was some like TV show analysis going on or something.
Oh yeah,
That looked pretty
100%.
good.
I'll bring up
That
the
idea with the hands thing sounds pretty cool though, where like you get like the reflecting hands and then trying to
Yeah. I think that'd be fucking awesome. Like, I mean, you obviously need to do it amongst people you can trust, or you'd have to have like insane safety measures. But like, there's people that I'd be comfortable doing that against,
Yeah, it would be quite fun, I think.
a
Yeah.
set of aces. Gucci running hot today.
Did he just
Coming
did he
back
just
a bit?
make it all the way back? I guess he's like,
8 points.
8 points. 8 points. Okay, I mean that's basically even in PLO.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I
Was he
mean,
down a
it's-
lot? I saw like yesterday he lost a bit, right?
Yeah, he started minus 44 today.
Wow.
And Mahasajan, maybe we can talk about that hand. Unfortunately, the replayer thing is broken, so I
Okay.
have to like scroll down a bit and like tell you the action. Although this
Yeah.
to sim, they all went in on the turn. So this is a 3-bet pot where GUCCINIKE, after 3-betting, he half pots the flop with a set of
Yeah.
sevens. Yodogoki calls,
Okay.
and he turns top 2.
Okay.
And then
cooler.
GUCCINIKE bets 75%, and Yodogoki
Oh yeah, I had a question
raises.
about this. Why does he only go 75% on the turn and not pot? I know pot is
don't
over
know.
geo, but in No Limit you often go over geo if you're trying to make like draws indifferent. And in PLO, like everything's a draw, right?
These spots are very interesting, actually. Yeah, I think you get to size down a little bit on like the Broadway turns, like when it's like ace low low. But generally, I think like it doesn't really matter. So I don't know. Maybe Gucci just bets what he wants to bet with his hand, and then just says like deal with it. Like I don't even know sometimes. Like I think you can do what you want, but like I would think most people just play pot only. And yeah, that's kind of like what you normally would do. You would just go over geo and just pot the turn basically, and then whatever left on the river, like you just play it as that. Yeah, sometimes there is something where like you size down a bit on like the Broadway card turns. But yeah, it's kind of like sometimes you think it's going to be like, oh, this is the turn that we size down a bit, and then you look at the sim and it's just like potting only, and you just blundered with like.
Yeah, I mean, I spent a long time making sure I had the patterns down in No Limit, and then like you move to a different board, and it's like, oh well, this one follows the patterns to a T, but is an exception, and then it's like, really?
Because say if it was like ace, like if it was flipped, like ace queen 4, and then the turns are 7, I'm pretty sure then we would only pot. But then when it's ace 7-4 and then the queen, like then you go 75 or something, or then
right. So is it about like the over 2 pairs?
Yeah, it's. I'm not exactly sure why, but also sometimes on these boards they're not meant to bet range, so then there's also like some differences. Like whereas on ace 7-4, like you have to check like 30-40%, but say on ace queen 4, maybe they just bet range. So like the range. The C bet range is a bit different then. don't.
Yeah, I could see if they've improved to more like stack off value hands, whereas on like the ace queen 4, they're essentially repping a slow play when they jam the turn, or like equity denial.
Yeah.
Whereas this way round, yeah, I mean, that's quite interesting. Like, is there going to be any hero folding though? Like if you go like B75 with like naked ace 4, would you do that in the first place? And then you get jammed on. I guess, I mean, you're
You
not
would have
like
to fold, I think. Yeah.
you have to fold.
Yeah, I would think
Oh,
so.
okay. Well,
Say if you had like
then
ace 10, 10, 4 or something, like you can't bet call at 150.
right. So then there could
Like-
be something interesting where you bet fold after 75, but if they call, you just jam non-completing rivers.
Yeah, or you could like check call some rivers maybe because people like over bluff.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty. Okay. I guess that makes some sense.
But yeah,
This is why I like doing PLO, because I feel like I learn stuff about No Limit by thinking about PLO, even though I'm like kind of just spitballing.
It's kind of it's funny how like both of the games are like they're similar concepts, but then PLO, the way the ranges interact is just so different. Like
yeah, I feel like it's like there's the same list of concepts, but the relative weighting of them is just completely changed.
Yeah. Yeah, I think a similar thing happens in like tournaments and stuff like that, like where like there's certain stuff that's happening in tournaments in No Limit that's like there's concepts that's coming across, but then like just the range equity differences that you get in the game, just inherently in the game is just like completely different. So then certain stuff is like a thing and certain stuff is just not a thing. Like min raising.
So like PLO ICM is really weird because if you go post, you're just so likely to get pop committed. So
yeah, exactly.
You just have to be so scared of going post.
Like, and then like, yeah, it's just super hard to play them with like that risk premium because you're just ending up like, if someone pots into you, even if you've got a decent hand, like you're struggling to meet that equity a lot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because there can be spots where you need like 60% equity to stack off.
Yeah, probably not that. Oh, yeah, I mean like yeah, if you have more than the pot, yeah, you need 60, but like yeah, you can have like a risk premium of like 15 to 20 or something near the bubble. So it's like you need an extra 15 to 20% to make a call on the turn. So if your draw has 40% equity and they pot, like you have to check fold. So it's kind of rough because most draws only have about that in PLO.
Yeah.
Gucci brought
was there any other hands going?
I didn't see any particularly big one, but GUCCINIKE brought it down to 4 points difference for a minute, and now it's back at 7 in Yodogoki's favor. Yeah, there hasn't been other really big hands, but I guess this is like decently sizable, but yeah, it didn't go much further. There was just a pot size bet on the river for GUCCINIKE with top sets that took it down.
Yeah. What are you up to now, Owen? Like after the challenge?
Mostly messaging people to play and getting aired. I'm really craving free-handed these days. I got a little bit in today actually, but it's like I've been playing so much heads up, and it's like I guess grass is always greener to some extent.
Yeah.
It always irritates me as well because I'm just like I want to just be like, guys, I haven't played three-handed in so long. Come on, and then like I see a game and sometimes they'll break the game. And I'm like, come on, I'm not that good right now. Like maybe in 2 weeks. But,
do you think it's funny? Like the skill set for three-handed is also so different to six max.
I would say like. Yeah, like one thing which I really struggled with when I was playing like tons of three-handed was like even though you know how tight the low jack is, so often I'd be like, I think the guy's under bluffing, but this is like a pure call. Whatever, I'll fold the mixes. And then you look at it, and it's like your hand's a low frequency call. And I was like, oh, okay. That was something which I had to really get used to. Which it sounds like quite a trivial thing, but when the vast majority of your volume comes in 3-handed and heads up, like, do you know like Rig Deck?
Yeah, I've seen the name.
So he plays. I finally got this at some point when people were telling me about how Macau operates, and he plays like he plays too tight in 3-handed games. Not like it's not like he plays like badly. He's just generally slightly underplaying.
Yeah,
and I was like, and I was coaching him. And I was like, what? You know what? Why do you do this? Just bet what your hand is worth. And then I realized, like, when you're playing 9-max. You know, when you're playing a 9-max high rake game around VIPs where everyone's playing super tight VPIP, he's probably really used to this idea that, like, you know, one, you're often playing for these tight positions, and also you get used to having to underplay because everyone's so much tighter pre. And so and it kind of clicked for me. And I feel like it's also easier for him to change it when I'm like, oh, this is why I think you're doing this, you know? I was like, oh, that's why. Because I was like, he's like a really good poker player with really good instincts. And I was like, why are your thresholds just like a pip too tight everywhere? But then kind of made sense.
But do you think, like, say if a 6-max guy is just going into playing 3-handed, maybe they playing correctly a bunch, or like the skill set, you have to be so good at like blind v blind play in 3-handed play.
Yeah.
Whereas like in 6-max, it doesn't really matter how your small blind play is. Like in the grand scheme of things, like there's a lot of other stuff that's getting.
Yeah, I would say
your win rate, but like in 3-handed, it's like half the pots are small blind versus big blind out of position, and then it's like
BVB is often a spot where 6-max players are weakest because
and then they get like that's so often right in 3-hand, so it's like a spot where you could be completely.
It's also such a counterintuitive spot. It plays very differently to a lot of the other spots, I would say. Like,
because like for heads up,
when you play, I mean, you should have limps in 3-handed. Okay. It does add a little bit of win rate. I don't play them.
In small blind, do you play them or not? Yeah.
No, I don't play them.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah, I mean, I think some people do, but to me, it's like the trade-off is I have to study an extra spot. Yeah. You know, I have to study an extra spot and then also restudy the spot which I already have learned. Which is like I don't think it's worth to drop that much fluency for a very small amount of theoretical EV. Like, I often get this when people are like, you know, a lot of people I coach will be like, oh, what sizes do you use in this spot? And I'll be like, I'll tell them the system I'm using, and they'll be like, oh, Solver doesn't really like this. And I'm just like, yeah, but this, like, I play this system really accurately, and and I know all the pitfalls that people can fall into. If I play this other one, and I've definitely fallen into this a bunch of times of like being like, oh, my, like the thing which I want to do and I'm comfortable with isn't right here. But I think it's just always better to do the things you got more practice at.
There's kind of always this like takeaway though, right? Or not takeaway, but it's like this, like always, like, I don't know how you say it, like equilibrium thing in your head as well, where it's like, okay, I could just like say in PLO, just like have a one size bet 75 on turn after check on a straight board or something, or you could play like a block and a pot, and you're like, one is incredibly hard to do, like it's so hard to get the right portions of the range when you're splitting the range on the turn, but like technically it's worth like 0.5% or something, maybe.
It's funny, like, I play infinite splits. So you're talking to the guy who plays infinite splits.
But then like the mistakes you make are a lot, but like obviously the mistakes are not really worth any EV though. So it's like you're not really making any big EV mistakes per hand. but then like
Well,
what is
yeah,
the other
it's like-
person doing it like to it? So it's like
I only lose the EV if they counter
explain
adjust.
it properly. Yeah.
And if they start counter adjusting, well, I've got more practice in that game than they do. So I
Yeah.
kind of feel like it's in this weird spot where it's like, okay, they know I'm making mistakes just because I'm playing something which is very hard to implement. But then in order to come after those mistakes, they have to play my game.
Yeah.
And they have to get lost in these complications. So I think it's, you have to be brave to sort of venture into that.
For a while, Linus played PLO for a bit, like maybe 4 or 5 years ago. I played a decent amount with him, and he actually split sizes straight off the bat in like 3-bet pots just in C-bet. He had like a bet 31 and a bet like 63 or something. Barry also did something similar for a while. And yeah, in that thing, you kind of like you kind of go into their strategy and you're like, okay, they're doing this, and like it's basically impossible to play properly for them. But then if you're not adapting straight away right to it, like you could be punting like infinite as the
I mean, Linus dropped a lot of his splits. I mean, at least when I've played him, he's played a lot more single size. So I think he's sort of re-examined his view on that. I've got some action now, by the way. Got some heads up. I don't know if you can hear it.
Who have you got? Someone
Kevin Pack came to sit. I think he's hoping that we'll get joined for free-handed. Maybe he heard me crying before it on stream.
Yeah, we hear the sound effect from a way worse software than the one we're on.
Don't worry, I'll turn down this worse software.
There was just this big hand that happened just now, Masajan, if you want to have a look.
Okay.
So this is a 3-bet pot, GUCCINIKE 3-bets. He fires half pot on the flop.
Yeah.
And then pot on the turn.
Yeah.
And on the river, he checks and Yodogoki sends it. Looking at the run out. Sorry, go ahead.
Yodogoki checks it back. Yeah.
No. Yodogoki jams river after GUCCINIKE checks.
What did Yodo have?
We didn't see because it's not the show table, this one.
Oh, sorry, that wasn't the aces hand. The aces one before was check river, or I'm on the wrong stream, maybe. There was a hand where he had top set and then it went back.
Oh yeah, no. I'm the board in this one is 10-9-5.
Yeah, I see it now. So it went 50 call, pot call, check fold. Yeah.
Yeah, just a bad run out for the 3-better.
Yeah, I mean, if he checks folds, it is like, I think generally like the 3-better actually has like quite a lot of those draws on this board. Like obviously he has 10-9 and 10s and 9s and stuff as well, but I would say like a lot of the portion of the range is sort of a draw with a overpair or like a draw with a pair as well. Yeah. So Yodo took a bit of points.
Is there some bluffs you can think of for Yodogoki that will do this with this whole line? Calls 3-bet pre, then he calls 2 bets on flop and turn, and he jumps river in position.
It's kind of hard to have that many. You would need to turn most 1-pair hands with a club into a bluff, probably even without a club.
If he has like a queen jack with 1 club, is that sufficient to maybe bluff this?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think 2-pair would check behind, but because you can win sometimes against the air and the overpair stuff, but anything worse than that probably has to bluff a decent amount.
Yeah.
Just because pretty much everything gets there except like if he's got ace, king, queen, jack, maybe he has to check behind, I'm not sure.
We got another hand here developing. We're gonna get a call on the river.
Got a bluff.
And I'll reopen that as well in the replayer. And just catching up on chat real quick.
size down a bit on the river there.
Yeah. John Wong asked, are these show tables? So the one on the left-hand side is show, the other one not. And Koala Bearable asked, what does the winner get? So first place is $100,000, I believe.
And a watch.
Yeah, including a Rolex watch. Second place is 30K.
Oh, Yodo took a few big ones there then. Did he go check or check back all and then bet?
So this is single raise spots. Flop, check,
okay,
check.
so Gucci raised the turn. That's a really interesting one.
Pretty big too. Because pot size bets and then he raises for 2.4K. So like the maximum, he pots it.
Yep.
And then
he bet 75 on the river.
On the river, Gucci, yeah, he didn't quite bet pots, but he bet big.
I think it's kind of interesting he's sized down. I think if you're going to bet this river, most of the time you have a straight, or you're just going to check anything worse. Maybe he's saying he would bet 75 with like an 8-7 or something.
Yeah.
I think he should be potting. But I think turn is maybe the spicy raise there. You heard it here first. GUCCINIKE is a whale.
Brave words.
I mean, can you explain his play, Owen?
No. Hit me with it. Let's see if I can do PLO copium.
He check the flop and then pot raise versus the probe and then bet 75 on the river after Yodo checks.
He is saying he has 8-7.
Yeah, I guess so.
Saying he has 8-7.
He's saying he's got scared on the river and he didn't want to pot it with his hand.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. I feel like it is kind of cool. Finding the oh god, wait, what's happened to it? Finding the like, not. I mean, pot is like the obvious bluffing size, right? And you don't want it to be. You don't want it to be kind of obvious that every time you size down in this spot, you've just got there with like, you've just got there in the shitty way.
Yeah. I don't know in PLO though, like sometimes in these spots, like it's so straight or nothing type of thing because you just don't value bet sets because of like the removal to 2-pair bluff catching. So it's like when you have the straight, you normally just pot then. Like you don't really have this smaller size. But I could be wrong for this spot. Yeah, it's kind of interesting.
By the way, Pray for Love sent me a photo comparing poker players to chess players, like who would be who.
Oh yeah.
And then I forwarded it to you, Owen. So just curious.
I got Nimswich. I'm clearly Dubov.
Should I show it on stream?
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, let me see. There's two big hands happening right now. Let's wait. Let's see. Yodogoki jamming turn on the right-hand side here. That's the no-show table. GUCCINIKE forced to think about it. Yodogoki has been wanting to reset stacks, by the way. Okay, on the left side, Yodogoki is going to pick up 5K in AV. 5 points. Yeah, Yodogoki's been wanting to reset stacks. I'm curious, what do you guys think? Does he need to have like a cushion, like a certain amount of points ahead before he does that? Or might it be that he's just less comfortable playing deep?
I think no one wants to play deep with Gucci, I guess. Yeah, he's probably more comfortable at 100.
Yeah.
And also, I think if you're up any amount of points, like you'd rather be shorter.
Yeah, I was thinking they were even. And if you're even and you think you're an underdog, it does kind of make sense to play deep and hope you cooler them.
Yeah.
But once you're up, it doesn't make sense.
No. Especially at 30 points, it's like a decent amount, I guess. 40 points. Wow. They're swinging a lot, huh?
Yeah, because Gucci actually had brought it back to like, what, 4 points? And now suddenly Yodogoki with all the momentum again.
Yeah. Where's this chess list then?
I just posted it. I just shared it.
Okay.
And someone in the chat said bragging rights and a Rolex. I believe, not sure what kind of Rolex. It's a Land Dweller, I believe is the name.
Okay. So are you going to bring it up on the stream or just talk about it?
Actually, wait, second place. I don't remember if it's 30K or 50K for the second place. I can look it up.
I'm pretty sure they've got almost every single one. I mean, okay, Stefan as Tal, I can accept, but Stefan is actually Nesmedinov. You know, real OGs know.
Okay, wait. I will show it.
If anyone like is kind of a chess hipster, their favorite player is probably going to be Nesmedinov. Like he played chess the way I like to play poker. I don't know. I reckon I'm more like Tal than him. I'm more solid. But Steffi was Nesmedinov. If you watch any of his games, it's like there's a quote from Petrosian where he says, "I must have beat Rashid a dozen times, but I would trade them all for his one win against me because he wins the most beautiful games." Just sacrificing all the pieces. That's Stefan. Whereas Tal's more solid. Tal is weird to call Tal solid, but you know, if you're looking for the actual Steffi rep, then it's Nesmedinov. Kasparov has to be like OTB Red Baron or Ivy.
Yeah,
he's like
probably OTB,
I mean he's
right?
like the first GOAT of the modern era.
Yeah. Yeah, surely Ivy or one of those guys.
Yeah, I mean Kasparov has to be
Who would
Ivy.
Jungle Man be then?
Jungle Man, maybe Anand, because like he's been around a long time, still kicking it. Has this kind of tactical style. Yeah. Jungle's Anand. Yeah.
Interesting.
Because like Anand had like such a long peak, right? And we were talking about yesterday how Jungle played in the Heads Up World Champ 17 years ago, and then he gets to the semi-finals of this, you know.
Yeah, the Dwan Challenge also was a long time ago.
Davey being Fischer, I guess that's interesting. Yeah, Fischer playing this super tactical style, which is which is similar to Davey.
Was Karpov the guy that was a bit hot and cold, or not?
Karpov was like the super solid positional guy. Had a very, very famous long match versus Kasparov, which Fischer said had to be faked because the matches were so beautiful.
Right.
So yeah. See, I'm like, low key a chess nerd.
So which one is accurate? The three most accurate ones on this list.
Okay, I could see KP as Caruana. That kind of makes sense. Yeah, I could see that one.
And Linus.
Linus being Magnus definitely makes plenty of sense. You know, like the modern king. Being atop the throne for like a very long time. I'd like to think I'm putting some questions in there these days. But yeah.
So
was Keir Sullivan like a controversial guy or what?
Yeah, I guess controversial guy. Yeah, I guess not going to try and get too much into that, but I can see why they made that comparison.
So you're content with the one that you got, Aaron Nimsowicz?
I don't really think that's me at all. I think I'm more Tal, but you know, everyone thinks they're Tal, I guess.
Dr. Ham says, what about Hikaru?
Hikaru. Surely that's like Nakamura or something. Was he?
I
was that
mean,
multi-table guy? A fucking speed one.
Who like streams and is also like, I mean, I guess like I do the most streaming of the high level players. But yeah, don't love it. I mean, I don't know. Don't love the Hikaru comparisons.
Adam Land, by the way, he changed his profile photo to your photo, Owen. He says in the chat, Stefan is a bum. I destroyed him every time. Stefan, if you are here, come to Papi's lap. Adam, you're out of line, dude. I'm calling HR on you. All right, 35 points. So Gucci won a couple points. He was down 41 just a minute ago. Still in this. Yeah, Omer in the chat says Stefan being Tal is purely because he takes you out of your comfort zone. Jake Egan said, see, Lama needs to win the No Limit Hold'em Rolex so he can turn up to things on time. And the chat is feisty today. How's it been for you, Mahasajan, since the challenge ended for you? Have you been playing a bunch or resting?
Playing a bit, yeah. Not heads up though. And then I'm just preparing to go home now to Wales. So I'm flying tomorrow. Yeah.
How long is the journey?
20 hours.
Oh,
22
Jesus.
hours. Yeah. It's exciting stuff. Maybe I'll watch a stream when it's on the layover or something like that.
Yeah. There was a hand here that was pretty big, by the way, and that didn't get a showdown. If you want a look on this one.
Yep.
So this is a 3-bet pot where GUCCINIKE opens, Yodogoki 3-bets. Flop King 5-3 Rainbow, Yodogoki continues for half pots. GUCCINIKE calls, turn 6.5k in the pot, 7 of clubs.
Raised the flop?
No, he just called. Oh no, he did. You're right. He raised it.
Yeah.
So 900 to 2.35.
Yeah.
And then Yodogoki calls, then turns 7 of clubs. Yodogoki checks. GUCCINIKE bets 4.87k into 6.5, and Yodogoki jams.
5%. Yeah. Probably got a good hand. Gucci's going to be raising very often on this flop versus c-bet, I think. While the turn is good for him, like Yoda's definitely going to have some decent hands that he also hits after choosing to c-bet and then call the raise, obviously. So yeah, it's a nice one for him. Again, just picking up another 5 points or whatever, right? Or 8 points. 8 points, right?
Yeah, 8 points.
Wow.
All right, this is not the show table, but a pot-sized bet here on the river. As we're playing a little bit deeper as well, though, on this one. So 33 points right now for Yodogoki. And GUCCINIKE will take this one down.
30 points.
Crater says Hikaru equals dog. I don't really follow chess much. What is Hikaru known for? Because Doug is known for, he plays heads up, he
Hikaru's
streams, makes content.
Hikaru's known for like speed chess and streaming, I guess. Like he's very, very good at like the bullet chess, which is like the 1 minute one, I think, where like you basically you can't. I mean, I think unless you're like a very good chess player, you can't even follow it. Like I can't follow along because they basically are moving before they even get their move almost. Yeah. Someone says Hikaru.
Yeah, I mean, I would say when GMs play bullet, like I can't follow, and I like played a lot of chess. It's fun doing the breakdown afterwards to see how quickly they found cool ideas.
Yeah,
but
they're actually insane.
In the game's impossible.
Like, yeah, like in chess you can like pre-move, right? So you put the move in, assuming the other guy's going to go for like a certain line. So then you move in advance almost, and they almost do that the whole game. Yeah, it's a different game in a way when you watch it. It's crazy. Would you say that's what he's most well known for? And streaming, I guess.
Sorry, Hikaru?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, I think he's consistently done very, very well. Like, well, he's done very well in every format, but he's basically consistently been either number 1 or number 2 in 3 minute for a very long time. I think Bullet. I think there's a third guy as well. There's this Andrew Tang guy.
Okay, so there's like a new
but like so there's like, you know, there's more than just him and Magnus at the top.
Yeah. But I guess Bullet, like you have to put so much time into like it's almost like a computer game version of chess where you have to just be so fast and reactive.
Yeah. But you can get a lot of reps in Bullet very quickly.
True. What do you play? Like, do you play like lower formats to try and like think and get better, or do you just play faster ones because it's just like more fun and
I think
stagnate, or do you not find you stagnate with your level? Or
I most enjoy playing rapid. I don't really enjoy long play formats.
but rapid's like 10 to 20 minutes, right?
Yeah, rapid's like rapid's like sorry, I'm playing a weird format. This is coming back. We're doing mandatory min raise, and I keep forgetting to min raise.
Ooh, straight flush.
Oh shit!
Mamma mia, Yodogoki.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna focus on this. I might hop back into the stream in a bit, but yeah.
Okay.
All right. Later. Good luck.
Okay, guys. Yeah.
What's that hand here?
Yeah. So action is 3 bets pre from Yodogoki with King Jack 8-6 double suited, and then he checks on the flop, and GUCCINIKE bets 700 into 1.8. Yodogoki calls, turn, check, river. Oh my god, what a river. 10 of hearts. And Yodogoki block bets, 960.
Yeah.
Gucci raises, Yodogoki jams.
Yeah. That's gross.
What a 6 spots.
How much left did he have to call?
8.4k more into... Actually, is that right?
No, it's like
oh yeah, 2k, 2.8k. Right? Yeah, 2.8k to win a 20k pot. That's pretty sick because he's not loving it, but he can.
2k is like, is that 2k dead there? It is, I think. I think it is. What do you think? These spots when you have to call, like, I think it's just dead. Like,
well, you mean he should fold?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I don't think you can.
But isn't the whole
maybe-
debate that if Yodogoki is capable of doing this with just an 8 of hearts, like let's say he has a king 8 of hearts, then suddenly he's like, if you start folding the nut flush there, then suddenly you're getting like massively exploited. But then it seems like every time you call, they have it. So then it's like, well, should I be then folding? So it's like this little leveling game, right?
Yeah, true. Let's say I don't think he'll fold versus Turbabe, but Yodo doesn't strike me as a absolute psychopath that would just jam in there with a 8 of hearts. So it's a lot harder to make the call against Yodo than some other people, I think. Yeah, I don't know. Like, obviously you can't blame him for calling.
Yeah.
It's kind of a funny one sometimes when they, like, it's very, very tough to think about bluffing there with the 8 of hearts. And how do you even know how many times you should bluff it in?
I mean, if anybody's gonna figure it out, it's one of these sickos for sure.
Yeah, that's true.
And Yodogoki back up at 40 points, by the way. Every time Gucci makes it close, Yodogoki's like, nah, I don't think so. Goes back up a whole bunch of points.
Because, like, the only thing maybe even with 3 hearts is, like, something that you might think in one part of your head sometimes in these spots is, like, Yodo might re-raise with kings, like with king and a flush. If he blocks, gets raised, there's certain spots where maybe he would then 3-bet with the king flush. But I don't think this would be one of them. And then when you have 2 hearts in your hand, it might actually block some of that. Yeah, it's kind of a gross spot.
I guess the spot becomes much easier if the board was paired, where he has to play like way more cautiously.
Yeah. Then he may not even raise versus a bet.
What if it was 8, 9, 10 of hearts? Is it the same spot or does it become easier? Because then suddenly there's more. Like now there's literally only one combo that he loses to.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's easier to fold on. It's a pretty rough one. I think if there was more behind, he would have considered it a lot.
Yeah.
TMY SC2 in the chat asks question for Mahasajan. Where does he think the edge comes from in a heads up of this caliber?
I think there's stuff that you can't see. There's just like people are doing stuff with their range that everyone is well studied and we think we're playing well, but when you actually play, the execution of that strategy is very hard to implement. It's not like Hold'em, where it feels like they know more or less what they're doing with most of their range. We know what we're doing with most of our range, but it's still like, I think it's a lot harder to balance certain spots out and actually make sure you have the right proportion of bluffs in certain ranges and stuff like that. So then I think like you can make decent decisions based on who you're playing and adjust frequently like to that. And I think like in certain spots, like it can be quite a lot that like you lose an edge if you're not finding like certain bluffs on turns or like certain bluffs on rivers and stuff like that.
Yeah, I remember one time when someone, Memphis, in the previous Cash Game World Championship, the mid-stakes one, he challenged, he wanted to play some heads up with Prodigy to try and learn about heads up more from playing, and then they started talking about the match. And I think he mentioned that, you know, I don't remember exactly, but maybe he thought it wasn't going to be like, you know, that bad necessarily. And then Prodigy was basically telling him, he was like, no, you're gonna like under bluff in those spots, undervalue like there, like basically in every single aspect of the game, he's not gonna play as well as Owen was gonna be.
Yeah.
So like the edge literally comes from like everywhere, just from being better, basically.
Yeah,
in every single
it's literally
spot.
every spot, right? Like they're just playing, and it's always the same spots in heads up that you're just playing over and over again, and they're just bleeding in every line. Yeah, it can happen sometimes that 6-max player comes in and they actually overbluff because they're used to having a stronger range in 6-max, and then in heads up they don't realize that like you have to be a bit more careful with your bluffs because your range is so wide, you can't just bet everything everywhere. You end up like just overbluffing or something in certain spots.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say it comes from every node in the tree. And sometimes you don't even need to do much against it because you're just playing your strategy. It will just bleed.
You excited to be home?
Yeah, definitely. I will say also, like, when you're playing against someone better than you, you can definitely feel every time that you're bleeding, like in certain spots where you're just really unsure of how your range looks, especially in the past. Like I've played games where like I felt like this guy just really has your number. And I know sometimes it's variance, but sometimes it is like you can feel their understanding of the spot is just more than yours. And it's like it's quite telling in heads up because you feel it in every node that they're just having a better understanding of and grasp of what they're doing, but also what you're doing wrong in that. So it's a pretty tough one when you feel like someone's getting the better of you as well.
By the way, TMY, SC2 is, I guess, from Star. You play StarCraft 2, or I don't remember if I asked you before.
Me?
No, somebody in the chat called
No.
TMY SC2. But what about you? Did you play any video games?
No, not really actually. Poker was always my video game, I guess.
Which one?
Poker. Just being on the computer with poker is always my time at home. So I never really put that much time into video games because poker is just a time sink in itself, I guess.
Yeah. I saw somebody earlier replied that, if I saw correctly, that the prize, Chab said first 100K, second 50K. No, that's in Hold'em. In PLO, the first place is 100K, including the Rolex, and second place is only 30K. Because there was less players, so the prize pool is smaller than for Hold'em.
Someone asked, what is my thoughts on Caesar's game? Canarian Spa. He actually beat me in a heads up in a tournament a few months ago in Cyprus. He's very good. I think he came second in the Cash Game World Champs. And yeah, his style is really, really, it seems to just do really well at 6-max. He really runs over people, I think, and really attacks like the general population really well. Yeah, I think he's a very good player.
All right, they resumed the session. We are at 906 hands, and Yodogoki is up 41 points. So very close to when they started today, where he was up 44 points. Although GUCCINIKE brought it down to 4 points difference at some point. Now kind of fell back again. Doesn't help to get ace high flush versus straight flush, obviously.
No.
And TMY asked, another question from Asajan, how dynamic is your game plan? What are the main tendencies you adjust to quickly and how?
How dynamic is your game plan? I think there's certain stuff you can adjust to pretty quickly. A lot on rivers, basically. But also, like, in heads up, you kind of get a, like, if you're playing versus, say, like maybe this question is geared more if you're playing against a recreational or something. Like you can quickly tell what's their 3-bet frequency and stuff like that, and like the difference between a 10%, 15 and a 20% is a lot, and the way their ranges interact on a lot of boards is different. So obviously you would adjust your game plan to that a lot. And then I think like you can quickly get a feel if someone's not check raising you enough, or if they're not like ever check raising the turn against a late C bet, or like this or that. Like, and you do want to change it up quite a lot, and you can get quite outrageous with certain lines if you feel like they're not defending it properly. So yeah, it should be definitely quite dynamic. And yeah, you see they're not doing something, and then you basically bet more or fold more. I don't know. It's kind of hard to go into without the exact spot, I guess.
It's, to me, the question kind of is like, how adaptable are you?
I think you want to be adaptable, but you also want to have like a solid foundation, obviously. But there's certain stuff that you see, and you definitely need to change it up.
Yeah.
But say like for this championship, my approach for the most part was to just play the game plan I have, and then if I see something, I might change. But at the same time, it's only 1,000 hands versus these guys. It's not really enough to say like here or there basically what you should be doing. Like say against Venny, like maybe I made a few lighter calls against him because I felt like he was really getting after the bluffs in certain lines. Yeah.
And did he always have it?
He always had the bluff, yeah.
Oh wow, okay.
So
it worked out.
Except for the one when he didn't bluff on the one when he won the match. So he got the last laugh because he had the nuts in that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah, it's kind of like, it's also like that type of game is a lot of back and forth, sort of refining it as well, because maybe he got overboard in a certain point in the match, but then maybe he dials it back. So you need to be playing like somewhat of a reasonable strategy, and then like, okay, I think he might be getting after it a bit too much at the moment, so I'm just going to call.
Yeah. I feel like, yeah, sometimes it just kind of comes down to this for me as well. Like recently, like in the past, I was always trying to put somebody on the exact range of hands and trying to figure out like what he would do with those or with those, like put them in brackets. And then I feel like I play recreationally, so I'm not like super well studied. And then now I like super simplify those spots, and kind of on the river, like let's say I'm facing a jam, I kind of narrow it down to, does this profile and villain, like is he likely to be bluff jamming here, or like is he one of the guys that always has value? So sometimes you don't have the most info, but just from like the tag and their stats, like a guy that like check jams river with, you know, in my pool there is a lot of like, you know, 12, 10, 8 guys. Like you're just never seeing a bluff on the river basically. So you can just fold everything, and then all alike, the guys that I've tagged as like super aggro or like, you know, degen, then those guys are going to show up with a lot of bluff there. So I also understand that when I call on the river, sometimes he's going to have it, but I do think that enough of the time he's not going to have it that I have to call more. And I think it's a good way to think about it, right? Like
I agree. And it also takes a lot of stress out of it, where like you have a bit more of a clear decision on the river and a clear thought process, where you're not thinking like overthinking about the spot in the sense of like this or that. Like you're kind of like, is what he's arriving with going to overbluff or underbluff the river? And is this particular player profile going to do that? And most of the time that's going to give you a better answer than spending like 10 minutes thinking about your range and about all the bluffs they can have. If at the end of the day, if that person's not getting there with the bluffs, and if they're not bluffing them on the river, it doesn't really matter like anything about their range, right? You can just close your eyes and fold. And it's probably making a way better decision than thinking for 10
we
minutes.
Got an all in
about
28K in the pot.
That's a big one.
Shop it up.
Wow. chop it up.
Straight for both players. On the right-hand side, we also got a 4-bet pots, Queen 8-6 rainbow on the flop.
Yodo may be thinking about donking it in.
And Yodo takes it down. Okay, so this hand, it's a 3-bet pots where GUCCINIKE checks on the flop, Yodogoki bets 750. And then on the turn, GUCCINIKE again, he check calls 2.47 into 3.3. And then river, he checks again, and he actually jams for like 1K, a little bit less than 2K more. So it's reminiscent of earlier. We're on the river, you just have to pay just a little more. But in this case, they had the same hand. 6-9 for the straight.
Yeah. Seems well played from both, I guess.
I don't know how long they plan on playing, but they started today a little under 600 hands, so I expect they're gonna keep like this type of length for the session. So yeah, probably not gonna play too much longer, unless they want to knock lots more of the hands out of the way. 922 hands into it. And they started 584 hands today. Big pot on the right-hand side. Actually, you had two big pots, but on the right-hand side in particular, low SPR. On the left-hand side, quad kings is going to win for GUCCINIKE. Unfortunate they didn't get more money in. Fortunate for him. On the right-hand side, GUCCINIKE jams. Looking to pick up 2 pots here. We display. Is he repping a flush, or is the set still jamming here? If he has like aces or kings.
Was it? What was the action?
I didn't catch.
I don't think. It looks like a 3-bet pot and then maybe bet. So Gucci's gonna have a flush only for the jam.
So yeah, 3-bet pots. And Yodogoki continues 2/3.
Okay. Check call. Yeah, so he's only gonna have a flush on the river, I think.
So the points, let's see, we had 42 earlier for Yodogoki. Now it's 34. GUCCINIKE again, winning some points.
Winning a few back.
Were you able to catch any other stream from yesterday?
I didn't take any actually. I was out riding my bike and I didn't get back quite late.
On your bike! You saw those old cliffs.
The what? Sorry.
When Tony G won an all-in against like Phil Hellmuth or something, he was yelling, "On your bike!"
Oh yeah, on your bike.
GUCCINIKE on the right-hand side again, going for some betting. Yodogoki makes the call, 4.5K in the middle. Check, very quickly on the river. And we got a full house for Yodogoki. Dodge the bullet! The 6-9 again. Their favorite number.
It's
funny how on the flop he only has second pair and then turns 2 pairs. And he just check calls.
Is it a 3-bet pot? No.
Yeah, this one was 3-bet pots. Flop, check. The one in the replayer. On the left-hand side, though, things are hitting up.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I thought check call. Let's see what it is.
GUCCINIKE.
There's another big one though.
Can I be able to take this one down? So 3-bet pots again, and Yodogoki, he bets very tiny on the flop, 350 into 1800s.
Yeah.
Gets re-raised, he calls, and then on the turn, he checks. GUCCINIKE fires 75%, and Yodogoki gets out of the way. And that's a bunch of draws, mostly an airball.
Oh, yeah, show hand. That's quite nice.
Is that how you would play this hand a lot of the time? Or is there, like, do you check back sometimes on the turn?
I think you get to bet quite a lot on the turn there. Especially without an ace and a king in your hand. Obviously, you'd rather have a heart or something like that. But yeah, seems good.
TMY in the chat asks, another question from Sajan, how many binds are you willing to lose before you call it quits in heads up? You keep going as long as you think you got the edge, question mark?
Depends on the person you're playing, I guess. Yeah, it probably depends on who you're playing. There's some people that you would lose 30 buy-ins to and you would just keep on playing them because you feel like if it's just variance, like it's going to happen. But there's other people that if you lose 30 buy-ins to, you're quickly like second guessing yourself and thinking, okay, like this guy's just absolutely smashing me. But yeah, I think it's quite hard to say actually. Generally, you're looking more if they're making many mistakes or something like that. If you feel like 30 buy-ins, yeah. I mean, it can happen quite fast. Like you're gonna swing 10 buy-ins every 1,000 hands, like quite easily. Like I think, like in various games after like in certain stretches of certain games, like I've won 20 buy-ins against players and lost 20 buy-ins against players in 1,000 hands. So if you're just going based on that, like you're quickly gonna like hit the limit basically before you're actually really realizing if you're better or worse. I think 5 buy-ins, if you know they're a reg and you feel like you might be playing worse after losing 5, then that's fine. But like it depends on the availability of action, I guess. Yeah, it's kind of, I think you can't be too choosy all the time. If you feel like you see enough mistakes from them, you should just keep on playing for the most part. Obviously within your risk tolerance of bankroll management as well, because if you're taking too high a risk, obviously 30 buy-ins is going to be eating up a lot of your bankroll.
Do you think most people are honest enough about this? Because I feel like most people, they might like lie to themselves, you know, tell themselves, oh, I'm still playing fine. I mean, it's the same. Like we're talking about heads up right now, but I think in ring, it's the same. Like,
I mean, I think if I'm playing a good player, like I will stop if I'm losing. Like fairly quickly, but just for that session, and then I will go back and reevaluate. And if I feel like I played well, then I would continue playing.
you say you will stop, but when exactly then? Or like no particular
like
moment,
after an
like
hour and a half or something.
Okay.
Like, yeah, if I play for a session or something. But I think like that's more just like a stopping the session type of thing rather than stopping playing them in entirely. But yeah, I think in one session, like there's definitely a point where you can start playing a lot worse, or like maybe the player you're playing against is playing a lot better now that they're up or something. Like it does happen.
That makes sense.
It kind of depends on the question, I guess. Like if it's for a specific session, then yeah, sure, you don't want to lose 30 binds in a session. Like you should probably stop before that, especially if it's against a better player.
Yeah, I keep wondering what's the right length for like a session that I should like max out at. I have a tendency to play like way too long sessions and almost always do bad in those. Like when I do multiple short sessions, that's when I do better. And also in terms of like studying. So since it came up so much on the stream, I actually experimented recently. I play like 30 minutes because if I play fast tables, it's like much easier to do that. So I play like 30 minutes. And then I save any hand that I have any question on, and then after 30 minutes I leave, close the program, and then open GTOWiz and review whatever hands I had. But it's probably not the most effective way to study, but it's still decent, like for the time I have.
It feels like very easy to keep yourself accountable like that though, because you're playing short and you're getting through a manageable amount of hands in GTO Wizard. Where sometimes when you play for like 7 hours or something, you end up not studying as much because it's just too overwhelming, and then you need to do something else after. Whereas if you're sticking to short sessions, like you are, like you have more mental sort of space to be able to go through what you've just done, and hopefully then maybe you're also playing with like a higher focus, so you can also like make better decisions in that time. But then also when you're reviewing it, you knew your thought process, you knew you were making good decisions at that point, rather than like being 6 hours deep and then when you're reviewing it just being like, oh, like whatever, I wasn't focused at that point. But it's also good to know that, like, okay, my game goes off at 6 hours, like I need to have some sort of like mental cue that I'm playing a bit better. I even had it against Dirk in my match against him, where we played quite a long session for our first or second session. And I think like the last 30-40 minutes, like I started opening a bit too wide, and like just a few sort of mistakes like that crept in, which on the whole don't cost you that much EV, but it was more like a subconscious thing. So it's like, yeah, you definitely don't want that to happen, I guess. And then kind of after it, you're like, wow, like that even happened to me in this spot. Like, where else is it happening if it's happening just in a pre-flop decision node or something like that? Quickly, you can sort of brush over the mistakes you made in some of these spots without realizing.
All right, two big hands happening. GUCCINIKE will win the one on the right-hand side. Two pairs, ace-9.
Yeah.
Closing the gap a little more, 27 points. 3,400 in the pot on the left-hand side. Yodogoki fires in position. Snap fold from GUCCINIKE. $28 points difference.
3 point.
How many layovers do you have on your way home?
Just Qatar.
Okay, not
Doha.
bad. Yeah. I think it's a good airport as well, right? Like they have like lots of stuff.
Yeah, I think it's okay. Yeah, should be okay. They reopened the airspace now, so there was quite a lot of flights options through there.
Yeah,
which was good.
I think like the worst airports that I can think of in Europe is like Paris CDG and Heathrow. It's like my two worst by far in terms of experience.
Okay. Yeah, Heathrow I only ever go in or out of, so I never have a connection there, and it's always all right for me, I guess. But this time I'm flying to Manchester, which definitely isn't the best airport, but it's closer to home. So
yeah.
I think in the Middle East, like the Abu Dhabi is significantly worse than like Dubai or Doha.
Really?
Dubai maybe is a bit faster to Asia, I think. Like the flight times is a bit faster. Maybe you have to go like less south than Doha,
yeah,
to get to Europe. but it's about the same, I think.
All right, Yodogoki fires on the left-hand side. They're under 2,500s. Gonna be able to take that one down as well. And doesn't look like much of a hand here.
Nice. He's
So 3-bet
getting after it.
pots. He calls with ace, king, 8-4. The two lower cards are the suited ones. Fires in position.
Nice.
And then fires again.
Spicy one for Yodo. Nice.
Do you think the fact that
Quite
he's
deep
show
on that
table
table as well.
could encourage this type of play?
I think it could well. Because it's funny on coin, it's like on the show tables you're giving away everything, but then on the other table it's like it really doesn't show much at all. Like you get very, very few showdowns on it. So you kind of like you've got one and the other. Whereas most of the time, like on other sites, like you could always see showdowns or something like this when you're playing. So you get like a decent amount of information on what they give up in position. Whereas on coin, you don't. So for me, throughout the challenge, I didn't really know, like in certain spots where I won at showdown, whether, say, GUCCINIKE was choosing to bluff or not with like a hand that he should have or not. Maybe he was thinking I was going to call too often, and you don't get to know what he's deciding not to bluff with. So I think Amsagood said something about it where like it definitely keeps that sort of uncertainty about the other player's play open for a lot longer. So you are unsure of your edge either way or of what they're doing either way. So it entices more action because you're more like you have more uncertainty on whether you're playing like a winning strategy against the person or not. Whereas if it's a show table and you get all that information straight away, like I think it could potentially kill it a little.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny because that's kind of like the opposite to maybe what Prodigy said, where Prodigy was saying like, oh, I don't care, like anyone can see my cards in it and it's fine. Yeah, I can see both sides of the argument, I guess. It's definitely more fun for us when we can see though.
Yeah, I like it a lot. The show table idea was it's quite brilliant. Like I don't think it's even like really anywhere else either.
No.
Let's see how many points. 30 points. 965 hands. And we are Thursday, so they still have obviously until late tonight, but 3 more days after that to complete the rest of the hands. So they're definitely on schedule. And I think looking to play daily. When you watch players play like this, does it give you some FOMO a little bit? It makes you want to play yourself?
Yeah, I would say so. Like you always sort of want to be in there and then playing yourself and then seeing them playing it in a different way. I think like it gets you FOMO into the game, like the same way when you watch tournaments or something like that. I think like it's like it makes you want to be either like checking out what they're doing to check if they're playing well or not, or like to check if they're doing something interesting that you hadn't thought of before, or you kind of want to put yourself in that spot and like test yourself, I guess, in that situation.
Yeah.
Does it motivate you, Yon? Are you ready to start battling?
Yeah. The thing is like it's very long hours, so for me I'm too exhausted usually by the time we finish. But once the challenge is fully over, for sure I'm gonna want to play more. What was that hands? Did I just let's see. Oh, okay, so no, he did have 2 pairs. Yeah, I thought that was a bit spicier than this. So this is another 3-bet pot. And GUCCINIKE continues for 540 into 1800s. And he fires again big on the turn and finally pots the river. The 6 does not make it too scary for him on the river when the board pairs, because I mean, I guess, yeah, he has two higher pairs on the boards and he can't really be facing an overpair since there was no 4-bet. So I guess essentially it would be like a straight or queen jack that he's losing to. Or like, how do you see that spot here, the way it played?
Can you show the replay of it again? Like just.
Yeah, so it's a 3-bet pot, and then GUCCINIKE bets small on the flop, 540 into 1800s, then 2.16 into 2.88k on the turn, and he pots river.
It's quite interesting when I think.
I guess holding a king is good because he blocks king 10.
Yeah, the ace of clubs definitely is bad. Quite an interesting one. I don't know what's good there.
It's an interesting spot because
you should be checking a lot on the river, I think.
Yeah, it almost feels like a bluff, but maybe he expects some worse hands.
It is a bluff, yeah.
Oh, it is a bluff.
Yeah.
He's bluffing
right,
with 2 pairs.
The river.
So yeah, that's the thing in PLO apparently, right? That was mentioned before. Bluffing with 2 pairs is a thing. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I think there will be some Jack 9 you pot, whether you pot this combo of them. But generally you don't bet too often with Jack 9 on the turn, I guess. I don't know how it plays, to be honest. The running 6s is also kind of interesting. Like Gucci definitely still has like a lot of queens or something like that in his range. But also he's just got a lot of king 10 and that would not pot the river. Like, and maybe queens you would choose to check raise or something like that as well, a bunch. 9s isn't going to bet that frequently on the turn. Like jacks is going to bet a bit. So,
but then, so what hands that beat him are going to fold here?
Queen, right?
Yeah.
At 10-9, 10-8, sorry.
I guess, yeah, you're mostly targeting a queen.
I think like, even like, if in position does have king 10 without a straight blocker or something like that, is like, I don't think it's getting a fold from it, but it's not a nice spot actually. Like if you had like ace king 10 8, I could see it being a fold versus pot, because the pot should happen very infrequently, so then when he does pot, like you got to be careful with that type of hand, I think. Yeah, I don't know. It's quite an interesting one.
On the left side, they're playing a little bit deeper. I wonder if Yodogoki maybe is going to reset the stack, or maybe he wants to hit a certain amount first. I'll be right back, 2 minutes.
Okay. We got a 3-bet pot again on the left. Gucci's going to bet at it. Yodo's finding the raise again, so we're going to see something here. Yes, I do live in Wales, Aberystwyth in West Wales. But I also spend most of the year in Thailand, in Chiang Mai in North Thailand. Gucci calls the turn, and then it's a 6 of heart on the turn, so Yodo's going to probably bet quite a bit on the turn. It's a little similar to one we saw earlier, where then Yodo was in the other spot, and then he check jammed the turn. This one goes check check. Maybe some of Yodo's bluffs pick up like 2 pair, so he's checking and then maybe going to bluff catch the river. Let's see what Gucci does. He block bets, so maybe some sort of King X 2 pair. I expect we're going to see a decent amount of calls. No. So it's King 3, and he slightly value undercut himself there against a worse 2 or a better 2 pair. I think Yodo maybe was thinking about raising, but feels a bit thin. Maybe he was just thinking through the spot. When you play Gucci, you also face this a lot, like on paired boards, he really likes to attack you. He did have it this time. But yeah, he really goes after this spot, so it's like that sort of stereotypical player that's just check raising like 20% on the paired board, and you really have to fight back or get steamrolled against him. And it leads to quite a lot of like fun sort of nuts on nothing situations, a bit like you get in Hold'em a bit, where like they're very polarized. It doesn't happen so often in PLO, but like on these sort of paired boards, it's probably the closest thing we have sometimes. And you definitely get into this spot a lot against Gucci, where you're just sort of clicking it back and forward all the time.
Who are the most famous players from Wales for poker?
What's it called? Roberto Rodinella. Do you know him? Like a sort of old school Italian Welsh.
Well, he plays MTTs or cash?
Tournaments, I think, mostly.
Okay, yeah.
I think he played cash in the past.
Yeah.
Then there's a guy called Rob Cohen. He's plays tournaments as well. He actually plays PLO tournaments mostly. I think he's won like 2 bracelets or something. Apart from that, maybe there's a few no limit guys I don't know. Rob Cohen isn't Welsh though. I think he is from Swansea. Maybe not like Welsh. He's got a Welsh flag on Hendon. I think it's Welsh. I met him in the casino in Swansea when I was 18, sort of first going in to play some live poker with some, how do you say it, like a youthful confidence after winning online.
Wait, does that mean it did not go well when you played live the first time?
I can't really remember it, to be honest. They had a casino in Swansea on the strip of the drinking street, basically.
That sounds like a great spot.
it was a great spot. It didn't do very well, I assume, because it shut down. It was like an Aspers casino. It was on the main drinking street of Swansea, which is a very rowdy drinking street. it was a nice casino. I thought it had like sort of a 1-2 or 1-1 even hold'em game most nights, and yeah, it was good fun.
How much was the
Like
rake?
you'd go in there sort of drunk. I have no idea about the rake. I have no idea. I remember seeing people like straddle and stuff, and like I was this 18-year-old and I knew straddling was minus EV, and I was like, I'm not straddling, it's minus EV, while I was drunk and couldn't understand that people would do that because they were just punting. But yes,
They're here to gamble. They don't care about EV.
yeah, exactly. I mean, everyone's just flat out drunk on the table, so they want to have some fun.
In Austria, they have cash, but the rake is just so high. I think it's like 5% with €25 max. And like if I go to Vegas, it's $6 max. It's 10%.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, this would be a long time ago now. So like 14 years ago or something. So I think the rake was actually probably reasonable enough. Maybe they weren't raking it enough because they went bust, but or they at least shut down. So I can't imagine it was like outrageous. But yeah, you never know sometimes. I remember like when I started playing on like No Limit 4 or whatever, like you get an all in and a call and you're sort of all in for $8 or something, and like when you win the stack, you've only got like $7.60 or 40 or something it was. So like 20% of the stack is gone straight away.
Which site was that?
You just won. PKR.com.
Okay, I don't know it.
Yeah.
Sounds egregious.
Like a 3D one.
Yeah.
It was like so ahead of its time, like all this sort of avatar stuff that GG and Coin bringing out now. Like this site had like proper like 3D avatars that you could like make motions with and stuff like this. You could bang the table if you lost the pot. You could like swear at people, you could laugh at people, and like it would be animated as the player doing it, like a Sims figure doing it on the table. It was quite wild. Like they also had I think they had like a live heads-up championship with like quite a few of the famous players and stuff involved. But yeah, it's funny how then I think in the end they went bust and they got like taken over by microgaming, but then it took like another 6-7 years for that stuff to kind of come back into the game with all like the emote throwing and stuff like this.
Do you like this type of stuff personally, or not necessarily? Because like for me, I would say I don't really care about avatars. Like if I would never see DNX dancing on the thing, that'd be even better probably in my life.
I don't know. I mean, on GG, I definitely spam the emotes. I don't have the GNX ones. I have the face ones. I kind of like it, I guess, but I'm not. It's not a game breaker. Either way.
Yeah.
I like having chat. When certain sites remove chat, it's definitely quite annoying.
All right, we're past the.
But I think like the coin additions for the emoting stuff is quite fun.
Yeah, the McDonald's a big fan favorite.
Yeah,
McDonald's
I like
emote,
that.
back to work.
Yeah.
So Yodogoki, we passed the 1,000 hands mark, and he's up 34 points now. Battle rages on.
So while Yodo has the lead, we've seen it swing up and down 30, 40 points in the last 200 hands, right? Either way.
Yeah, they started at 44, and then Gucci brought it down to 4.
Yeah, at like 850 hands or something, and now it's back up to 34. Yeah.
Things can go quick. TMY says, it seems like a very quiet heads up. I expected way more aggression.
I feel like they have been quite aggressive in the hands we've seen. Like
without
that Gucci
forcing
hand
it, right?
Pardon?
Without forcing it, right? They're kind of just playing like, you know,
Yeah.
with what they have.
But I think Yoda's one there with the ace king 8-4 was actually quite spicy maybe as well. But yeah, maybe not too many all-ins that we've seen in the last little bit. But it does kind of go like that. Sometimes you barely have like a swing, and sometimes it's just absolute carnage every pot. There's a few massive ones going on right now, with the nuts changing river on the right as well.
Ace Jack on the left-hand side for GUCCINIKE, able to take it down, and on the right-hand side, the non-show table. 9.6k in the middle. They're playing a little bit deeper.
Let's see a jam.
One time for the contents.
Show the bluff, Gucci.
Well, it's not show, so we need to see a call to see the cards.
Yeah, well, maybe Gucci is listening to the stream and he's raging at the abuse he's been getting, and he's gonna put us where we stand and show the bluff.
I can see this spot being very sick for Yodogoki, where he has a lot of hands where he's like really, it's hard to figure out whether you should call or fold.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of 2-pair hands that maybe have a diamond, or even some 1-pair hand that maybe has hearts and a diamond or something like that. That
He shows.
maybe wants to.
He shows.
Bam!
That is pretty sick.
We got him. We got him to show. What a player. That's nice. Beautiful hand by Gucci there.
So single raise spots, and Gucci continues for 75%. He gets check raise, he calls. Yodogoki bets spot on the turn, GUCCINIKE calls, and then flush completing card on the river with the 3 of diamonds, and Gucci pot sits, and that's good enough. And like, unfortunately, we don't see the hand here, but
yeah,
you saw what he had.
Oh, it doesn't show on that bit, but
No,
he had a king 10 9 6 with a 9 of diamonds, I think, with no hearts, or maybe 1 heart. So
how does that rate that bluff out of 10?
A 10 out of 10 bluff, and he showed it for the stream. You gotta love it.
They're pretty cool. They showed it. He's in listening. Yeah, I think there is a decent chance he's listening if he showed. I don't know.
Yeah.
Isn't it distracting to listen to the stream when you play, or you think like it depends? Like some players might be completely fine with it.
I had it on the side sometimes. I thought it was fine, I guess. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you're like, oh, okay, I need to focus or something. But
yeah.
If it's a khaki jungleman discussion, maybe I would put it on mute. But
oh, you're not looking for tips on how to pick up women in public places? What do you mean?
Not while I'm playing Gucci, I guess. But otherwise, I kind of like it, having it on at the same time. Like sometimes you hear the commentary as well, so like you would like emote or something like that, so you're sort of like half interacting with it as well. Yeah, I think it's quite fun to have it on the side. None of us thought of going on the stream together, like Jungleman and was it Cracky Fist did in the No Limit one
in Holden now.
Llama?
Yeah, like so right now every match, like the last 2 matches, the finals and the 3rd place, those guys are on calls all the time. And initially, initially the one that happened was Llama and Jungleman. They opened the show with that. Like they were the first 2 to be on call all the time when they played.
I love that. It's great. I've done it against a friend before, like when we've been playing heads up, like been on call the same time. But yeah, playing a match in the championship, it's pretty cool. It definitely brings the entertainment to the people. The No Limit guys definitely did that. They brought the trash talk. They brought the streaming talk as well. It's been pretty cool, I think.
Do you have any plan to record any like educational content or anything like that these days?
No, I guess not. Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, I don't know. For what, I guess. I don't really have like much of a reason to, I guess. Maybe when the Mahasajan coaching site comes out, I would, but at the moment not.
Yeah. I think it would do well, that type of stuff.
Yeah, I quite enjoy coaching and stuff, but at the moment don't have too many plans.
Well, if you enjoy coaching, then you should definitely do some, because then essentially like recording some videos, even like a 30 minutes review that you post on YouTube is like basically the best form of advertising for your coaching.
Yeah, that's true. They can go and watch the analysis with me and Suhei, I guess.
Yeah.
There's a review of one of the second week or something of the PLO.
Yeah, I think I saw an avatar. I think that's AI avatar, right? Like a few with a...
Yeah, that was outrageous AI avatar of myself. I got some abuse for that from people.
Yeah, see, so wait, so that the video, this one was posted 1 day ago. It's already got 2.2K views. Yeah, and it's like,
yeah,
because I hadn't seen you before. You got that curly hair on it. Are you on a treadmill, by the way? It looks like you're walking on the video.
Yeah, I was on the treadmill. I was actually on the treadmill for the first hour of this call as well.
Damn.
I'm trying to like channel in every source gain I can. So I thought the treadmill would be a good one.
Yeah.
But
you know, you're walking pretty slow. I think I guess you're meant to not walk.
In that one, yeah. I think it's normally set to like 3.5K an hour or something. Yeah, if it's any faster, you can't do anything like on the laptop, I guess.
Yeah.
You're kind of like bouncing around a bit too much.
I'll post the video in the chat for anybody that wants to check it out. It's Veni Vidi and Mahasajan's
it's actually a
hands.
Suhei. It's a Suhei on the other analysis, but the hands are versus Veni, and they're from all the groups actually in the PLO stage of the tournament. Suhei is also a very good coach, very good PLO player. I've known him for a long time as well.
Yeah, we had him on before one time.
Yeah.
We were supposed to play basketball a bunch of times with Suhei, but like he was injured initially, then he got better, then he didn't have time, and now I'm the one that's injured. So hopefully we'll get to play some ball eventually.
You're all in Vienna as well, right?
Yeah, he's not very far. I'm like in the center. Steamrolled asked, what is this link to? So this is the video we were just talking about where Mahasajan and Suhei, they go over some of the hands that Mahasajan played with Veni Vidi in the Game World Championship. Actually, there's even... I see one of the hands early, it says Lukaku and Kohiba, so it's really like just a bunch of different hands from the challenge.
Yeah, it's from the group stage of the PLO champs for the PLO ones.
Do you know what did they use to make like the B-roll, like basically the video that you're watching? Do they record tables or like how does it work? Because I had assumed they took it from the stream, but sometimes the tables are covered with something else on the stream.
I don't know. No, but on one of them, it has GUCCINIKE's hand, and I haven't seen GUCCINIKE's hand in that spot because I jammed the river and he folded. Because obviously Coin have the data for the heads up, right?
Yeah.
So GUCCINIKE made a call against me and it got shown.
Okay.
When in game I didn't know what he had. and it hid my cards in the analysis. So it was quite funny actually. Like I got to see what GUCCINIKE called me with in a big pot. So yeah, I think they have like some sort of back end one to run that sort of stuff on.
Louis says, great vid, so insightful. There you go.
Thank you.
It's Jono Wong says, how much does Mahasajan cost? We're talking coaching here, right? I hope.
Yeah, I don't know.
And Doni GD asks, can we hear more about the coaching sites? Well, was it a joke you were making, or you actually plan on launching?
I was joking.
Okay.
I don't have a coaching site. I do some private coaching, but I do not have a site.
Urban Man asks, is Venny still in this? No, Venny lost in the semifinals. And the PLO event does not have a third place match, so unfortunately he's no longer in this. This is the last two players remaining, Yodogoki and GUCCINIKE. And Yodogoki up 32 points with over 1,000 hands played right now. TMY asks, what's the best way to reach out for coaching?
Maybe on Instagram, I guess. My name is Griffith Pugh Jones. It's just that as the Instagram.
If you want, you can write it to me on Discord, and then I'll write it in the chat, so then some people can follow you. You got a re-raise here in a 3-bet pot on ace-9 deuce against the small bets. GUCCINIKE turning it up.
Is GUCCINIKE coaching? Yeah, he just coached everyone with that sick bluff with the King 10 9-6.
Okay, that's a really tough Instagram to type, by the way. Thank God you shared it. So yeah, I put it in the chat, guys, if you guys want to follow Mahasajan. Grufford Pugh Jones. Riding bikes, taking picture, riding bikes.
Yeah, it was mostly just a cycling Instagram for a while.
Wait, what the hell? I can't... The follow button's not appearing. What is this? Glitch. Big bet here. 3,800s. I can't follow either. Yeah, what the hell? That's like the first time I've seen this. I see your profile and nowhere is there a follow button.
Really? Interesting.
We've been shadow banned. We need to be deemed worthy to follow the Mahasajan.
Shadow banned from Instagram.
That's generally the first time I open a profile and I don't see a follow button anywhere. I would check on my phone, see if it's the same.
Interesting.
Because I was in browser. Maybe share your Discord a little bit. Yeah, on phone it works fine.
I don't know how to share the Discord. You can share Discord, I guess, if you want.
Let me see if I can see your ID. Okay, I can put your Discord ID in the chat, is okay?
Sure.
All right.
He blocked you, bro.
GP642. Damn, you're really serious about that biking stuff?
Yeah.
Looks like they're done, by the way.
Okay.
So we end on say 30 points a second ago, but we end on 28 points up for Yodogoki, 1,054 hands
25
played.
or not?
Sorry, 28.
Is it 25 or 28?
Yeah,
28.
yeah, 28.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. It's good that Gucci came back a bit. I think like sometimes in it, when it gets a bit too run away, it kind of like kills the enjoyment a little bit. So we've still got a decent match on our hands now.
Yeah. Let me see if I can
Yeah, I
find
think there was
maybe...
some pretty good bluffs there as well by both players actually.
In the recent hands, did you see anything that maybe I could pull up in the replay?
What was the line with this aces one? Did he just bet twice and get called, or
Wait, did I just show? Oh, this one. Okay. This
was
one.
it like a paired board on the 8-3-3-8?
Yes, single raise spots, and then
Oh, okay.
GUCCINIKE
Wait.
continues for quarter.
Oh, I see. It's the other way around. The button than I was thinking. Okay, so
GUCCINIKE, yeah, he bets quarter, gets called, turn check, and then on the river he bets pots in position.
Yeah, so I wonder, like, if Gucci even now with 1,000 hands changes his strategy much, and goes maybe a little bit more greedy with some bets, to try and get back closer to even. I don't know if you should or not. But yeah, interesting if he would do that. Interesting for Yodo as well, like whether he should actually check raise that hand at all. Kind of a close one, I think, when the 3s and the 8s are out.
Okay, we can see a little better like this, I guess.
Yeah.
And we can check the replay for more hands. Okay. I remove this. Okay, let me browse. 7.2K here. So this is a 3-bet pots. And GUCCINIKE continues for half pots with just a 5. Some backdoor stuff. Gets called by top pair. Turns to queen. So now Yodogoki has the open ender.
Yeah.
And then he bets half again. Yodogoki calls and Yodogoki reverse trips.
And it goes check.
It's too thin to try and value trips on the river? Because he would have to go big, I guess, if he had to bet, right?
Yeah, guessing it's a little too thin. It's kind of an interesting turn bet by Gucci, I think. Like the top and bottom 2 pair with no straight blockers. Yeah, it's kind of a cool one, I think. Yeah, it feels too thin on the river for Yodo. Especially when he can lose against other 10s and stuff like that. And you're going to be maybe potting a bit more with the Boto than just checking.
Yeah.
And maybe you can bet 50 with like some like... Maybe if you had ace jack 10 or something like that, or like, yeah, something along those lines, maybe you'd go 50. But I think most of the volume would be in pot. Okay. I might call it a day then as well, Yoan.
Okay. One last hand? Would that be okay?
Yeah, let's do one more. Yeah.
Let me check. Okay, so the other table closed, so I cannot open the replayer there. So it would have to be here in this replayer. This one is the biggest spot that happened from the remaining hands. So let's have a look at this one. So this is a single raise spots where GUCCINIKE continues on the flop for 75%. He has Queen Jack 9-8 on Queen 7-5. Yodogoki check raises. And GUCCINIKE
Oh.
calls. Turn is check,
Yeah.
check on the 7, pairing the boards. River Jack, Yodogoki checks again, and Gucci with top 2 decides to fire 2.4k, so 75%.
That's a pretty cool one as well, I think. Yeah, trying to get looked up by a queen that Yodo like check raise sort of bluffed the flop with. Maybe a handy like king, queen, queen, king, queen, 8-8 or something like that. Maybe check raise the flop.
Yeah.
Then can check call the river sometimes. Yeah, it's kind of a cool bet. And probably Yodo would just bet a lot with 7x anyway. And he's not really check raising kings or aces. So that's, I think, one thing that Gucci does really well. He does sort of really take the margin of the thinner value bet and then get after it, especially in spots where he feels like you're not going to trap enough, I guess, value, but you might have a lot of check calls. So that's quite a cool sort of, how do you say it? Like a representation of that.
If somebody is not very well studied, is this, you feel like in Gucci's shoes, an easy line to attack? Like a villain check raises flop and then he just turn check check and then he checks again river?
I think even in the solver, it's just going to be check folded at high frequency. It's just maybe a line that you don't put that much check calls in. But it's definitely a spot that you should probably attack, at least a decent amount. And I think he kind of show that, right? Like by Gucci value betting this, he's obviously thinking he's getting called by the sort of bluffy check raises on the flop that have showdown value that maybe just then check call the river because they know they're check folding basically everything otherwise.
So then why wouldn't betting small ever be a thing here?
For Gucci or for
Gucci?
Yodo? Generally you don't, but maybe in practice you should.
Like exploitatively.
Just check. Yeah, exactly. I think like probably happens a bit in certain spots where in theory you wouldn't ever go small, but in practice you probably do get to go small. Maybe that's exactly that type of spot now. Yeah, it could even work quite well here actually when you think about it. Yeah, I mean generally you don't, because you don't bet a third because this hand can go 2/3 and we still get called by the same range. So we're just missing out on value, and the bluffs make less EV then when we're bluffing. So yeah, I wouldn't have gone small, but certainly some spots you could maybe just put all your bluffs in the third, and if you really disrespect the opponent, just play it like that. There's probably definitely a lot of spots where you do get away with that type of stuff in certain lights.
Yeah. All right, cool. Thank you.
Okay.
Just one more thing about we brought up your Instagram and Discords. Like, from what level do you think it becomes the most interesting for somebody to get coaching from you? Is there a certain stake or level that the players must have?
Maybe like 500 plus, I guess. 1K plus, 500 plus. Yeah, it kind of depends, I guess.
Okay. And then that would be 4 card only, or potentially?
Yeah, only 4 card. I would not. I would not be a good coach to get that 2 card anymore.
All right, then thank you so much, Masajan. Pleasure having you on. Safe travels home, and if you have any shout outs before you go, go right ahead, bud.
Shout out to Gucci for sharing the bluff on stream when we asked for it. And yeah, good luck, everyone.
Thank you, mate. Talk to you later.
Cheers, man. Bye-bye.
All right, guys. That's it for now. Actually, I want to give a huge shout out to Yodogoki and GUCCINIKE for waiting to start today. I think they were ready earlier than I was. And then they waited to make sure we didn't miss any hands. They played a pretty good volume. They started, let me recheck the exact number. So at the start of this session, they had a little under 600 hands, and now they have 1,054. So good 3-hour session for those guys. Yodogoki finds himself in a 28 points lead. He was 44 points up when this session started today. So GUCCINIKE closing the gap a little bit. He had brought it down to, I think he was single digit, 4 points, I believe, at some points. But Yodogoki kind of did well after that. So yeah, big love to those guys. And of course, as always, thank you to all the viewers who tuned in and hang out with us this session. Shout out to CoinPoker and iBankroll.com. And I will be back. I don't know exactly when. Currently, the next session that's scheduled is in 7 hours and a half. And that's with Crassifisk versus Llama, Paint and Jungle. Quite the wild card match. I really don't know when they're going to play, so it might be pretty late. Maybe a bit after. Like yesterday, they ended up playing, I want to say like 3 a.m. or something CET. So like 9 p.m. EST. But yeah, for now, the only match that's scheduled is Crassifisk Llama, the Hold'em Finals, and that's scheduled around 7:30 p.m. EST, which is 1:30 a.m. CET. So that's when I plan on being live, and I'll see you guys then. Get some